In any part of life, those in the know say experience counts for everything. In sport, it's something that brings a sense of serenity, a feeling of knowing what may await. In golf, it's almost like having a 15th club in the bag. But today in Thailand, a nation will be watching on and hoping that experience moves over for the impetuosity of being young. 17-year-old Area Jutanagan knows no other way apart from the attacking way. Yesterday, it propelled her on a wild, unpredictable ride, one which will see the teenager take a 3-shot lead into the final 18 holes. Her talent, her enthusiasm, her absence of fear might very well take her to a famed victory. But those who possess that valued experience could spoil Thailand's plans of a party. The reigning player of the year, Stacey Lewis, perhaps bouncing back from a disappointing Saturday. Spain's Beatriz Ricari, with the resolve and nerve that only the top players possess. And 35-year-old Sairi Pak, with a record almost beyond comparison. A Hall of Famer, a multiple major champion, a winner. The stage is set, a nation awaits the outcome. And maybe it just might be possible that you can put an old head on young shoulders. Hello everyone and welcome to the Old Course at the Siam Country Club in Pattaya, Thailand for our final round coverage of the 2013 Honda LPGA. Peter Donegan saying a big welcome to you. It has been a spectacular week so far and this course has been turned out in simply magnificent condition, and it's going to be another intriguing day to see if Thailand can celebrate a victory on home soil with Area Jutanagan going in against the biggest names in golf. Is she going to be able to replicate what she did yesterday? It was simply stunning in the stretch between 10 and 14 yesterday. This the first of 5 birdies on the bounce. Crowd was starting to get involved minute by minute. Another one, 3 in a row at the short 12th. Then at the 13th, the stretch became 4. And there was a sense that we were seeing something really special when she knocked in a 5th successive birdie. Area Jutanagan taking a 3-shot lead going into the final day. The 17-year-old, can she do it in front of her adoring home fans? She leads by 3 from Spain's Beatriz Ricari, Korea's Sairi Pak, and America's Stacey Lewis. Inbee Parker's 4 shots off the lead, and Lizette Salas and So Yeon Yu, you would think, are the only other realistic chances, 5 shots back from the lead. Crowds have been simply spectacular over the years here in Thailand, and we might get the biggest of them all today. They have been streaming in since the early stages this morning. It could be a record crowd on the final day, and why not? Because we've got the best players in the world in action, and these are the ones, Sandra McKenzie, we're keeping an eye on.
What a day awaits So Yeon Yu, Rookie of the Year last year, playing alongside the world number 2 Na Yeon Choi and major winner from China, Shan Shan Fang.
In our penultimate group, the Player of the Year from last year, Stacey Lewis, the Money List winner from last year, Inbee Park, and the 23-year-old emerging talent, Lizette Salas from the United States of America in our second last group.
Our final group of the day, well, a nation awaits what might be. Area Jutanagan playing alongside icon from Korea, Sairi Pak, and Beatriz Ricari, very consistent player from Spain. Well, Na Yeon has an interesting shot here out of deepish rough. She's going to throw it over the top of that bunker. That is a very, very good result. Na Yeon has made a little bit of a move today. She also birdied the first and the second hole, so picked up 2 in a tie for 5th.
Let's move back to the 5th and Sairi Pak. This simply has to go in. And it does for her par. So 2 over par for the day. She finds herself 7 shots out of the lead now. So that's probably going to be a bridge too far. She has had a bit of a cough going, so I wonder if she's not feeling all that well. Noticed her coughing quite a few times over the past couple of days.
So Yeon Yu from the left side of this 7th green.
It's got Usain Bolt's colours on today.
Yes.
The green and gold of Jamaica.
Well, so far, it's been, well, definitely an up and down round. 2 birdies, 2 bogeys and 2 pars. All in all, adds up to even. Might not have felt that way for Soyeon. So this from off the edge. Just not giving it enough up the slope.
Why don't we move back one, Sandy, and take a look at the 6th hole. It measures 387 yards, par 4. A left fairway trap is definitely something to keep in mind off the tee here from the elevated tee.
Yeah, well, as you can see, a very, very straight hole, the 6th hole. And bunkers there on the right out of play. One on the left is definitely in play, but then you come to a green that has a big false front on it, this green. It's about 5 paces on before you're going to run back down. It's 2-tier, but the important thing is the green slopes away at the back. So if you get anything a little hot, it's just going to keep going on you. So the front level is high, the back level is low, and the pin is in the back right corner. Now you can see just paying over its par today. But the important thing is to miss that bunker on the left. It's about 250 to reach it.
That's a good sign with Area. She bends down and picks the tee straight up. She often does that, though, even when she does miss the fairway. So she's got a bit of an issue. And as we said in the opening to our telecast, she only knows one way, and that's attack.
Yeah, she's a very aggressive player. I got to walk around 4 or 5 holes yesterday. I got the 5 birdies in a row I got to watch, and boy, there was no holding back on anything. This is for birdie on the 7th for Na Yeon to try and get to 3 under for today. Sneak up into a tie for 3rd. Oh, again, catches plenty of the hole. These greens are, boy, they've got quick, and if you're above the hole, they are dynamite. Some very interesting pin placements out there today.
Well, we discovered that when we went out for our little roll of the golf balls this morning, and there are some where you just need to put super glue on the putter, and that's the only way you're going to stop the ball if you get above the hole. It's going to be interesting, it's going to be fun for us, and it's going to be a test for the players. So that adds up to a good Sunday afternoon of golf. Kate Burton is out on the fairways today, watching Beatrice Ricari on the tee at 6. Welcome, Katie.
Great to be here. What a fantastic final group this is. Now, Beatrice isn't the longest player in this final 3-ball, but hitting it, well, this one's veering right a little bit. Has a propensity for players to take it down the right side. Got to watch how she doesn't run out of space.
She's fine, pulled up just in time.
Shen Fang, this little curly one on the 7th. Yep, that's a good one for Shen. 1 under on today's round. 6 under, so she's in a tie for 8th, but still 7 out of the lead.
Let's see if Yanni can continue this final round charge. She's at the 12th. It's 161 on the card, but it's playing today at 145, so the pin's just 8 on and 5 from the left. And once again firing it straight at the flag, and the opportunity to get it to 7 under par for the day after 12 holes.
Very similar to what Yanni did last week in Australia, where her last round was absolutely spectacular. But on the 6th tee now with Say Repak.
A great line for Sayuri. Wanted to hug the left side of the fairway in order to get the most roll. Lovely looking tee shot.
Yes, well, that has virtually split the fairway. Perfect position, but Sayuri's in a position where she does need to pick up a birdie pretty soon.
So she goes striding down the fairway, and the galleries are striding to all points of this golf course. It has really been just a sea of people coming through the gates ever since the early hours of this morning. So we are going to be in for a day that is going to have the atmosphere of a very big title, and it will be a big title if Area Jutanagan can take it. She leads by 4 from Inbee Park, a shot further back Stacey Lewis. Sit back, relax and enjoy the final round of the Honda LPGA 2013 from the Siam Country Club Old Course in Pattaya. Back to the action with Inbee Park's 3rd shot at the par 5 7th. Whole location, just 7 on, 7 from the left. And that is very handy. That's almost gimme range for Inbee Park. Put that down as a birdie.
Yes, looked very nice landing it on that little ridge that runs through, kicking it to the left. We'll move back to the 6th now. Beatrice Riccari's second shot. What's she got, Kate?
149 yards to the pin, pulling it a little bit left. A little bit left at the moment, needs to feed out.
So many undulations on this green as well. It's actually deceptive when we say the pin at 7, Sandy, is 7 on, 7 left. It doesn't actually quite do justice to what we're seeing there at 7.
Yes, it's 7 on, 7 left in the back corner. Get a fair bit of distance over the bunker. Lizette Salas, oh, again, another one just hitting into that ridge. That's good. That's not a bad spot to be. That's probably one of the flatter putts on that back area of the green.
Meantime, back at 6, second shot for Sayri.
7-iron for Sayri, coming in from the ideal line. It was a peachy lie.
Come up a little shy there, Kate. She's a long, long way from the flagstick.
Very difficult pin, because with it being all the way back, you've got to convince yourself the players can't see the base of the pin from where they're standing.
We'll come back to see what happens there in a moment.
Stacey Lewis has just played her approach shot to 7 and gets plenty of action on it and pulls it up hole high. So she's got the opportunity of a birdie as well. Inbee Park with the best opportunity of those players at the 7th.
Ariya Jutanugarn coming out of the rough on 6 and just sneaks up, but it's not going to stay there because there is that big false front, so that will run down. Plenty of room to work with, though, with the pin being in the back right.
Another birdie perhaps for Yani Singh. You would think so. This at the 12th. This to get it to 7 under par for the day and 8 under for the title. It has been some charge. And so it continues. This is the reason that she is the world #1. Golf like this, when she is on a roll, she is unstoppable. All right, then, let's check out some of the action from a little bit earlier today, and we're going to join it at the long first, the 506-yard par 5 first. And here's just a little pitch from Jia Shin with her third shot. This for eagle, and leaving herself just a cast-iron 1-foot birdie putt.
Amy Yang, this is her third shot into the first hole. Oh, what a cracking shot that was, and that was to set her birdie up as well.
Lydia Ko, bit of an up and down start. She made a birdie at 1, a bogey at 3, and then got a 2 at the 4th to get it back to red figures for the day.
Back to this first hole. Birdie putt for Katrina Matthew. Very gently sneaks it in, and that's a great start.
Now back at the first. Here's Nayeon Choi's approach. Her third into a hole location 12 on 5 from the right, and she put it in there close enough to make a birdie.
We'll stay at the first. This is So-yeon Yu. Her third shot in. Let's see what So-yeon can do. Oh, what sort of shot was that? Simplest of birdie putts. What a shame.
Well, Shan Feng had a hard act to follow. She was playing with the other 2. Here's her third shot into the first. And they all made birdie. Now, that's value for money early in the day.
Well, we'll move away from the first and go to the second. Jarina Pillar, birdie putt at 2. Yeah, no problem there. Putts are rolling in from everywhere.
I think it's time to go back to the first because the action's been pretty hot there. And here's the third shot of Inbee Park. Her short game is absolutely outstanding, as we know. And if you get it to that range, she'll make a birdie, and she did.
Birdie putt here for Lizette Salas at the first. There's been a lot of red numbers on this hole. She adds to them.
Nayeon Choi coming off that birdie at the first. This to make it 2 in a row and to get off to a lightning fast start. Oh, yes. The world number 2 on fire early.
Jump forward to the other par 5, the 7th hole. Yani Singh's third shot. Eagled the first, birdied the second. And that came back below the hole. And that was to set up yet another birdie.
Really important for our leader, the 17-year-old, to get off to a start that would settle the nerves. She got her second shot up to there. This her third at the first. Look at the galleries. They knew that that was going to be good enough for an opening birdie and a confidence boost.
The short par 3, 8th hole. 136 yards. This is Yani Singh. In at the front and easy as you like. That would have looked fantastic from the tee.
And also at the 8th, Hee-Won Han. Off to a bit of a bumpy start, but then she made a birdie at 7. And look at this one, just feeding on down, using the contours of the green superbly, and coming very close to a 1, but certainly good enough for a 2 for Hee-Won.
We'll stay at the 8th. This is Brittany Lincecum, her tee shot. We've seen a lot of close shots here at this 8th hole this week. Again, let's use that mound beautifully to feed back. Oh, it's almost an identical shot to Hee-Won Han. And of course, Brittany went on to make the birdie there.
Seems like all the groups are inspiring each other to greater heights. Here's a birdie opportunity for Katrina Matthew at the 4th. Had a really tough day at the office yesterday, but that was her second birdie of the day today.
Take a look at another tee shot. This one is of Paula Creamer at this par 3, 8th hole. We've seen them peppering the flagstick. Oh, and so does Paula, and that was to set up her birdie.
And playing with her, the 15-year-old from New Zealand, Lydia Ko. What a career she's got in front of her. She's showing us the signs already, and she's going to play the same shot as Brittany Lincecum. How close will she get it? It's worked for everyone so far, and Lydia set up a birdie at 8.
The 5th hole, par 4. This is So Yeon Yu's birdie putt. Easy as you like, straight in the hole.
We saw Inbee Park get off to a good start. Birdie at the first. Here's another one coming at 5. 2 under par for the day. Gets it up to second place now.
We'll see plenty of birdies at 10. And this was Yani Singh's. Straight in the hole. Used to be her 4th birdie and 1 eagle. What a start.
So plenty of action going on. Now here's a par-saving putt from Area Jutanagan to stay the leader by 3 shots. She's got it. She's got nerves of steel. And the noise of this gallery is going to be carrying her towards the clubhouse this afternoon.
We've seen a lot of shots very close to the flagstick here on 8. This is So Yeon Yu. Will she take the conventional route or will she use the back? No, took the conventional one, and there is another close shot.
It's an easy hole, the 8th, isn't it? If you're outside 6 feet, you've played a bad one.
I don't know. We had our challenge there after play last year, and we didn't do it that well.
No, I don't think we should talk about that, or any of us. Jarina Pillar's second shot to 9. You have to be on the right level here at 9. 15 on 10 from the left is the pin today, and that is very tidy. That is an excellent shot from Jarina. A very realistic chance of a rare birdie at 9.
Par 5, 7th. Beatrice Ricari.
Flying it directly over those trees. There's a fair bit of breeze from right to left.
Yeah, it's just skirted the edge, Kate, and that is in a good position in the centre of the fairway. Kate, what are the crowds like out there?
Enormous. Are we at a football match or a golf game? It's a terrific atmosphere with this final group, and the unwavering support of the crowd. They're willing every shot of areas to go close. And
this group will pick up some more people because there will be a lot of people hovering around near the clubhouse area, and they'll be watching at 9 and then maybe walking the back 9. Sayri on the tee at 7, driver in hand.
Oh, now she's taken that down the tiger line, so right of the trees, hoping it's going to bounce down into the middle of the fairway.
Oh, and it's run.
Oops.
Oh, lucky break there. It just nicked back off the heavy rough, and it ended up not too bad.
She doesn't think so, but she's actually got a good break there. We gave this one to Inbee. Let's see if she lives up to it. 99 out of 100 of these would go in. She is deadly from that range. A birdie for Inbee Park at 7, and that takes her to 10 under, outright second. She's got a 2-shot buffer on the players in equal third. Just a moment ago, our leader, Ariya Jutanagan.
Big drive from Jutanagan. That wind is encouraging the ball to move right to left.
Boy, she hits a high ball flight, doesn't she?
Oh, I couldn't believe it when I watched her yesterday. It just goes so high and there's no run. It just comes straight down. It's quite extraordinary to see. Jarina Pillar, if you can make a birdie on 9, you are making up some ground on the field because it is such a difficult green. Oh, lost it on the bottom side, and that will be hugely disappointing because it is very big bonus. You can't believe how difficult this hole does play, and now she's got actually quite a testy one for a next putt.
Surprisingly, there's been as many birdies as bogeys here on 9 so far today, and the only thing that breaks the equation is there's been 2 double bogeys, and you'd just about bet that at least one of those double bogeys was by someone who found themselves up the back. That's where you don't want to be. Here's Soyeon. Her birdie opportunity at 8 to get it to -7. So quick, and even if it gets a good piece of the hole, we've seen plenty horseshoe out. We've seen a few 360s this week.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot drop in from the sides. You've got to hit it pretty much centre of these holes. So it is just a par for So-yeon Yu. Even par for today. And a big tie at in 8th spot.
Well, as she walks away from 8, let's have a look at it. It measures today 136 yards. So the players from this tee have got 124 to the front, and then the pin is 12 on, 6 from the right.
Yeah, pretty little hole. The lake there, of course, it's very nice, but it doesn't come near play. And then, well, the difficulty here, it's 2 tiers, makes a big difference on the club selection. However, the pin today is in that front tier. Now, we've seen a lot of players go directly at it. The green is holding at the front. A few have played right and long, and it's come back off that backboard right down to the hole. You see, we've seen a lot of birdies, and there you see it playing at 2.86. So 21 birdies so far on this hole. Can Inbee add to that?
I saw there was 1 double bogey. That was by Heiji Kang. Her distance control is as good as anyone in the game. We know that. So Inbee's going to have another one of those putts that you'd expect at a hole. Now, someone's hiding there. It's Yanni.
Obviously found the fairway trap on 13.
How good was the contact? Pretty good.
And we'll just stay there. That's a very good result out of the fairway bunker. So, well, outside chance.
But the way she's going, you wouldn't put anything beyond her. She's found herself up into a tie for 3rd. Remember, the world #1, 7 under par for the day through 12 holes, and an outside possibility of making it 8 under par for the day, and to get to within 4 shots of the lead. Who knows what might happen? But at the moment, Ariya Jutanagan is showing all the signs that she might give Thailand a famous victory in the Honda LPGA. There's a shot. Beatrice Riccari from the centre of the fairway, 2nd shot to 7.
Just a 5-wood for Beatrice, going to lay up to her optimum wedge distance. She doesn't make many mistakes out here, that's for sure. So steady.
And the good thing that we have seen from her stats too, Kate, we were talking about it before, that if she can hold it together on the front 9, pick up a couple, she is -8 for the back 9 as we take a look at Aria's 2nd shot.
At first she couldn't find her ball, Ariya Jutanagan, so she's gone with one of her rescue clubs, hit it down the fairway. Oh, she's got to watch out for that bunker.
Yeah, well, it's short of the bunker, Kate, in the long grass, but it's always a good sign when we can see part of the ball, because they can bury themselves, as you just said. Took a while to find the first one.
The rough is like a sponge. It just sits down so much.
Stacey Lewis on 8. Yes, well, from what we've seen on this hole, that would be regarded as a poor shot, because we've seen so many shots within 4 or 5 feet.
Sayri got that break. She didn't bounce into the heavy rough, just coming from the first cut with her second.
Just a 6-iron for Sayri. Just going to lay up. It's a real legitimate par 5, this one, the 7th. That strategically placed bunker that eats into the fairway really puts pay to any girls going for it in 2.
Is it Salas at the 8th hole, even par for today.
Made birdie at this hole Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and quite possibly Sunday.
It's not a bad record, is it?
Some of the delights of this beautiful city of Pattaya by the water, and the players are staying right down at the Dusatani on the water and have the opportunity of seeing not only the beautiful views from there, but the hustle and bustle of the city. It certainly is quite a busy place when the sun goes down. There's plenty to see and do, some magnificent food, and always we're made to feel welcome. We've been here several times over the years for the Honda LPGA, and always great to come back to Pattaya. Sayri Park has played her second shot down to the corner. Here's her third to the par 5 7th. Kate Burton is watching on.
97 yards for Sayri's got to fly over that pot bunker. Coming in from the right, hoping it's going to spin towards the hole.
Yes, it does exactly that, Kate. So Sayri hopefully will pick up one of the 2 she has dropped today. A few players with no red figures on her card, but here's someone with plenty of red figures on her card. Yanni for birdie from long range. Not a bad effort. Had to come up quite a steep rise. Back to the 7th. Beatrice Riccari's third shot.
Just 96 yards for Beatrice, also a wedge in hand. Well, a phone put her off on the previous hole, and now a bird on the 7th hole. What's going to happen on the 8th?
Well, probably a fly, I think. In a tie for third at present with Yanni Singh and Stacey Lewis. 5 back from the lead.
Good looking shot. Flying it in from the right. Just hope, is it enough?
Oh, only just to get over the bunker, and then it just takes a little bit of that incline. But that is going to be very slick putting down to there.
Yes, and she won't have seen that either. She won't have any idea on that elevated green what happened to it. But Yanni saying the par putt for Yanni. I'm guessing at this stage this hole's looking as big as a bucket. No problem there at all. So she remains at -7 for the day. Started the day at -1, so made up some serious ground on the field.
It's a long-range birdie from Stacey Lewis. We haven't seen too many putts of this length at 8. Everyone else has been within 6 feet of the hole and closer. Didn't matter. Put a 2 on your card anyway. The first red figure on the card for Stacey. Is that going to be the catalyst that might start the charge, set the fire alight? She picks up her first shot of the day.
Now from the rough on the 7th, Area Jatanagan.
It's only 87 yards, but it's so difficult. She's flown it high, trying to get it to run up and chase up the green. It's going to be short. Got a lot of height on it, and there was a fair bit of breeze to contend with as well.
Yes, well, it means she has to contend with quite a steep step there. Come back to that birdie putt now for Inbee Park.
Not quite gimme range, but it's not far outside it.
Just a little light on for pace there, and of course it does start to move away quickly as they slow down. So just a par for Inbee. She remains on her own in second place, just 3 behind Area Jatanagan.
Interesting. This for a remarkable week at the 8th for Lizette Salas. That is a birdie on this hole every day. So she's made 8 shots on this 8th hole.
She'd like to wrap it up and take it home with her, this 8th hole. That's a good record.
Yeah, she's a bit of a par 3 specialist. We've mentioned that. Look at this gallery. Every single vantage point is taken around this par 5 hole, and then they're about to somehow try and funnel themselves down to the back of the 8th tee. And they are going to be with her every step of the way. And speaking of steps, she's got one to negotiate here, and this time it's of the downward variety.
Yeah, she certainly does. She's got to come up along the ridge and it'll go down to this left side. So it'll be right to left. Oh, come on. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Just, it's not a gimme. But playing with such confidence, which is really extraordinary. I have had a chance to have a good look at her for the last few weeks. As I said yesterday, she played so well at the Australian Ladies Masters a few weeks ago, and I think she finished 3rd or 4th there. And she is such an impressive player, but I just love the aggression.
She knows no other way. And yesterday it might have bitten her a little bit at the 18th. Here's Lizette on the tee at 9. Not such a good record on this 9th hole.
Bunkers on the left that you can go over or play it towards the bunker on the right. The pin today, it's just sort of front centre again. Middle centre really, so she's in good position.
Inbee with the driver. And there is that familiar pose, although quite often we see her bending down to pick the tee up a little bit quicker than that, but she doesn't have anything to fear. Bisected the fairway. Back to the putting action at 7.
Birdie putt for Beatrice Ricari. Bogey on 4, birdie on 5. In a tie for 4th with Yani Seng.
Have you had a chance,
sorry Sandy, have you had a chance to look at the line, Katie?
I have, and it's going to be quick. It's going to start from her left to right, but it's going to be rather slick. And then it's going to come back again. It's a bit of a snaky putt.
Yeah, well, she's done okay there. It was one of those putts that really coming down the slope you can't be too aggressive with.
Well, this should be a mere formality for Area.
We said that yesterday with a putt at 9, remember?
She was holding these with regularity on the practice putting green. No problem.
Blemish-free so far. Just the start she would have wanted. 2 under par for the day. She led by 3 at the start of the day. She leads by 3 with 11 holes to play. So the crowds make their way down towards the 8th tee as it seems funny to say a 17-year-old hero, but she could be one come day's end. Area Jutanagan with the 3-shot buffer over Inbee Park. She knows what it's like to win. She knows what it takes. So does Stacey Lewis. So does Yani Seng. It's still an intriguing battle in the Honda LPGA Thailand of 2013. Hope you're enjoying the action.
Well, let's take a look at this leaderboard as it stands at the moment. Well, there you see it. She's holding on so well, and I think the impressive thing is with Area Jutanagan, last couple of holes, she's tangled with the rough, but she's come out with 2 really good pars. So 3 shots ahead of Inbee Park. Stacey Lewis just going along steady there, just picked up her first birdie at -9. But Yani Seng, what can you say about that round? And it's far from finished yet. 7 under through 13 holes. Steady for Beatrice Ricari, but she is still in there, and that's what Beatrice does. She's steady. Jarina Pillar and Shan Shan Fang in there. Another good round going today by Jess Corder. She's at -4 through 11 holes. That was a courtesy of an eagle up the first as well. So she's moving herself up because this is money day. The further up that board you can get, well, the bank manager's going to be happy. Lexi Thompson and G.A. Shin, both with really good rounds going. But look at the one by Azahara Munoz. -5 through 14. And a lot of that was around the turn. She had a number of birdies in a row.
Birdied 8, 9, 10 and 11. And that was after birdieing 6 as well. So at one stage, she had 5 birdies in 6 holes.
Now, Paula Creamer, nice finish for her today, going along well at -3 and still has a third of her round to go. Danielle Kang, she's also got it going. Lots of red figures out there today. It's birdies from everywhere. You don't want to be making bogeys, I should say. You will be losing some serious ground. Don't want to be falling in the wrong direction down that leaderboard.
Well, of the top 19 players on the leaderboard, only one is over par for the day, and that is Sayuri Pak. Well, it's simply been a birdie blitz on the 8th hole today. Everyone is knocking the flag out, and there have been a lot of 2s. Why is that, Sandra?
That is because the pin placement is very good there, and the green down that part is very receptive as well. Now, the pin is in the bottom plateau in the centre. Water is out of play. We go right over the top of that. Bunkers right and left, but it's not a long club. It's playing 136 yards today. The pin is just on 12, so it's just a really accessible pin. And there you see, playing under the average, and we've seen a lot of birdies already. There have been 23 of them, and whoever had the other has lost a lot of territory on this one hole.
Sayuri on the tee at 8.
8 iron for Sayuri. It's drifting a little bit left.
Yeah, and that's in that territory where we said with Stacey Lewis that it was probably one of the widest ones that we've seen, and she made up for that by just knocking it in for a 2.
Shen Shen from close range on 9. Yes, well done. That is a good birdie on 9. Every birdie's a good birdie, but especially on the 9th hole.
Out in 33, and it takes her up into a share of 4th now. And Shan Shan is 5 shots behind our leader, and our leader is on the tee at 8.
Now this needs to go. The wind has got up a little bit, and that looks like it's going to be short. It just seemed to balloon in the air against the wind.
I think sometimes, Kate, that is a bit of a problem with this high, exceptionally high ball flight that she gets when you're playing into the breeze. It's so hard to judge. Now Beatrice Riccari.
Good looking shot from Beatrice, tracking nicely towards the pin.
Very tidy, and it's going to be underneath the hole too, so it's a putt that she can afford to be aggressive with. So Beatrice definitely with the better of the chances there, and the opportunity of getting into red figures for the day.
Well, this is a birdie putt for Jie Shin on 10, the par 5. You'll see a lot of red figures on this hole. Yep, no problem there for GA. So -4 on today's round.
Look at that.
Birdied the last 3.
Yeah, real streak going for GA. Well, you call her the final round queen, not for no reason. And speaking of final round queens, Yanni Singh has done it over the years. She did it last week in Australia with a spectacular final round. And she's given herself another birdie opportunity here at 14. That want to sneak down as far as it can, because from where the camera is, I can tell you, that is as quick as you're ever going to see anything.
Oh, look at that.
Bit of a bottleneck there at 8.
Yeah, and you know what? They won't care, because the 17-year-old player from Thailand is giving them something to get incredibly excited about. And if she keeps going at this rate, you listen to the decibels go up around this golf course throughout the day.
I think we had to repair a couple of our effects microphones yesterday after that streak of 5 birdies. She got it going.
It was great just standing out there with them. Just the noise level, it was fantastic.
Well, here's a good illustration of her coming up just shy on that dead ground at the front of 8. A very straightforward chip. It's up the hill. She should be able to get it close.
Needs to sit down, spin, needs to go in the hole. Oh, not to be. She's always very aggressive on her chipping, all departments of her game. She's going to have a very slippery putt now for a par. You know, I can't help but feel that was rather poor course management on the tee with her caddy.
We'll come back to that in a moment, Katie, because we're watching Lizette Salas with her second shot at 9.
Yes, that's going to run quite a way down. That is a very steep slope up into 9. Lizette trying to keep it below the flag and just underclubbed a fraction. She only needed another 4 or 5 yards. Yanni, can she make it 8 under for today's round? Oh,
She's giving them a chance.
she is, and you can tell when the adrenaline is pumping. Gave it a go, obviously saw the line, liked it, but we know it is slippery from there.
Back to the action on 8. Kate, tell us more about that point you were making about the choice of club on the tee for area.
Yeah, well, she only went in with a 9-iron, and the wind was getting up. I mean, she was woefully short, and just on the previous hole as well, you know, bailed out from the rough and then hit into the rough. So somehow you feel they could be plotting their way around the golf course a little bit more cleverly.
Well, there was a bit of discussion about the club selection both on 17 off the tee and, of course, her second shot on 18 yesterday. So that's going to be a factor. Here's Sayree.
Nice looking putt. Oh, geez, it was a good line that she had. It was going to come in from the left. She was robbed.
Yeah, shaved across the front of the hole. And just on that point you were making, Kate, too, with a hole like this where you're on the bottom level and you know it's going to come back down that slope, you've got a little bit of room there to maybe take a little extra club than less club and have that option, which we've seen many times, of the ball hitting the slope and just turning around and coming back.
Very much so, Sandy. I couldn't agree more. And then she was faced with, you know, not an easy up and down, and now she's got a real sneaky 5-foot downhill putt for a par.
The scary part is we know how aggressive she is, and she'll not be too aggressive from there.
This is the first time they've been together, her and her caddy Bunsai. He's caddied for her sister Moria before, and he caddies quite a bit on the Asian tour. But their first outing together.
Well, it takes you a while to develop that understanding and for a caddy to know exactly how far his player can hit the ball, especially someone with the power of area. More of that as the afternoon progresses. Beatrice, we said, Kate, is really in the perfect position here. She's left herself within range underneath the hole so she can be aggressive with this putt.
Yes, really is a good opportunity to seize from Beatrice. Straight up the hill.
Gave it a good stroke.
Oh, what a shame. Oh, it's a... Now, you know, Beatrice and Sayree Pak share the same teaching pros. They're having quite a good chat around the golf course. Most probably sharing swing tips, I'd imagine.
Or where they shopped last night, or ate dinner, possibly.
Where did you get your massage?
Yeah, absolutely. An important putt this for Area Jatanagan. This is going to be very, very quick, and it is for par.
She pays a very heavy price for that.
Oh, and that's such an accessible pin location today.
Yeah.
Of all the holes to drop a shot on.
Yes,
poor
well,
judgment.
Been making birdies left, right and centre, so it's nearly like dropping 2 shots to the main contenders.
Now, the problem that we're finding here, though, in this final group, that as soon as area holes out, the crowd surges on to the next tee. It's only natural. That's, you know, generally who they've come out to watch. So it's quite tough for the other players who are still left on the green.
And that's going to be the case right throughout the day. So I guess Sayree's had it done to her before, and she's caused it to be done quite a few times. And Beatrice can probably just think, well, it's going to happen. Let's not get too concerned about it. For par. Well done. Probably feels like half a drop shot to her as well after putting herself into position to have a go at the birdie. Now let's move ahead one.
This difficult shot into 9. This must be in the right spot for Inbee Park. You can't be above the flag. Oh, come on now. Hang on. This hasn't stopped yet. Around you come. This could be very, very good. And this is what using some of these slopes is all about. Now, it's not far away, but I can tell you how quick that is going to be. We saw Lizette Salas come up short and run back down the bank here at 9. Needs a good one. Well, the good thing is she has left it below the flagstick.
Why don't we have a look at 9? It measures 391 yards, and their tee shot slightly up the hill, Sandy, and that right tree, or maybe just a little bit left of that, could be the aiming area.
Yeah, there's plenty of room there. You can bomb it over the bunkers on the left. There's no need to do that. Got to be careful of the rough. The bunker on the right is in play. But this is where the fun begins. This sits into the hill, this green. You can see how narrow it is at the front. And then it opens up in all sorts of directions on the back. But that is an extremely steep slope, and that gives you a good indication how it just goes straight down. And don't go past the, just don't go past the flag. It's just not an option, because you'll probably hole one by mistake from back there. You want to hope the hole gets in the way. So below the flag is the good thing, but if you come up a little too short, as Lizette Salas just did, you can run off the front of that green so easily.
Sayre Park on the tee at 9.
Low trajectory. She's got to be careful. There's a bunker 250 yards from the tee, and it's heading in that direction.
Yes.
Might be in too.
That's where that left line is a bit safer, because only 200 get over those bunkers. Now, Stacey Lewis, well, this is a bit interesting. She hasn't gone in the bunker. Those awkward little chips. Now settle. Not bad. She's kept it directly below the hole, so it should be a pretty straight putt from there, straight up the hill.
Beatrice next to play at 9. Four back from the lead in a four-way tie for 4th.
Oh, another super-looking shot from Ricari. She struck that down the middle. Lovely ball flight.
We mentioned that remarkable succession of made cuts. 28 events last year, 28 cuts. She really is the Iron Lady with a schedule like that.
Very talented. Lizette Salas, rookie last year. So just a second year on tour. Just the one top 10 last year, tied for 9th in Malaysia. That one slips by, but she's a very, very good player, and give her a couple of years of experience on tour, and I wouldn't be surprised to see her in the winner's circle at some stage.
And our leader.
Oh, she's immensely powerful, Ariya Jutanugarn. Really slams into the golf ball. Heading down the left, flew over those bunkers.
She generates such speed at impact.
For a 17-year-old.
And doesn't she just have a go at it? It's just, it's all or nothing. Inbee Park for birdie at 9. As we've said before, birdie here is a big bonus. Yeah, well done, Inbee. She is one of, if not the best from that distance in. So 32 for Inbee Park. She has made a move.
And a big one too. Apart from Yani Singh, she's made the most significant move of anyone up near the top of the leaderboard in setting out after this young lady. So her lead now is just 1. And she's got some very experienced players nipping at her heels. One of them, this lady, Stacey Lewis, who needs this to fall low. She can't afford to go 5 back from the lead.
Well, they do not drop from the edges of these holes. We have seen that time and time again. And you can see how quickly that pulled up after the hole. It was quite severely uphill, so there's no reason why that shouldn't drop in the edge. It's very frustrating.
Second bogey of the week for Stacey on 9. She made a bogey there on Friday as well. So that's going to make life very tough.
Drops 1 for Lizette Salas. So down to a tie for 10th with a number of other players.
It is a tough hole, the ninth. We've seen evidence of that, and our final group is about to negotiate it and try and put themselves underneath the hole, or at least equidistant with the hole at 9. Certainly not above it. That is not the place to be. Even though Inbee Park has been able to make a birdie there, she sets out after our leader, Area Jutanagan. The lead is back to 1, and Inbee is on the charge. Know her ability to shoot low scores. Brad, her caddy, just saying that's a beauty. That's his normal acclamation when she finds the middle of the fairway. So he gets to say it a lot.
He'll be saying that a lot after putts as well, because boy, does Inbee wholesome. Very, very good putter. Now this hole today, you need to be making birdie on 10. There has been an awful lot of them. It's over the bunkers, down the hill. You get a good kick off the back of the bunker. You can get down there a long way, and the green is well and truly in range. Short pin though today, it's just 7 on and in the centre.
Just a bit of movement from a vehicle not far away. I was just thinking, you know, Sandy, this is probably an advantage, I think, for Inbee, because even though she's got a good gallery watching this group, she's away from everything that's going on with Area's group, and she is the closest of the chasers now, so she doesn't have to deal with all of the distractions and everything that are going on with Area, and she can just get about her business. So I think she's got a little advantage here.
Stacey Lewis, bomb it straight over that bunker. It's a good kick, and look at this run.
Wow, that's long.
That is a long way down, isn't it? Yeah, it was quite interesting, the event in Korea last year when Sayri was right up with the leaders, and the crowds were enormous, but it was almost out of control because it was a much tighter golf course, hard to get around, and it ended up, poor Sayri ended up having to do crowd control. Chaos.
Just a few nights ago, the girls were able to glamour 4 of our very best, including Paula, who doesn't need an excuse to get glamorous because she looks that every time she steps out. Sandra Gale, Aimee Azato and Michelle Weed looked simply magnificent in the traditional Thai costume, and the world number 1, Yani Singh, was there to get in the mix. And she was in her normal costume too, the costume that she wears on the golf course and has worn very well today. And didn't they look spectacular? This is a spectacular sight heading up towards 9 as we look at Beatrice Riccari's second shot.
5 wood for Riccari, 166 yards, playing to that elevated green.
Now,
hopefully it feeds down a bit. No, it stops.
It's just... Oh, look at the face of Beatrice. She does get that nervous twitch all the time when she plays her shots. It really amuses me watching her face. There's a big twitch goes on.
Speaking of interesting parts, for a different reason. Now she's coming up the step there. This is Seon Yu's eagle opportunity to the front pin at 10. She'll do very well to get it to 2-putt range, and she's done an excellent job there. That's outstanding.
Yes, you can't appreciate how far away that was. Now from the left rough on 9.
7-iron, and it's a wonderful strike from the 17-year-old, heading straight towards the pin.
Okay, this is pretty special. Wow, that is some sort of shot from the rough just below the flag. Well,
that was a terrific shot from where she was. It was in sticky rough. Had to think about the tree, but really committed to the shot. Well executed.
Yeah, no stopping her at the moment. Nayeon from off the green at 10. Well done, Nayeon. That will help her cause. Simple tap in there. So Nayeon picks up a birdie. She did drop one like Ariya Jutanugarn at the 8th, which was a bit of a surprise.
We suspected Sairee was in the right trap, and here she is with her second to 9.
Well, quite a lip to deal with for Sairee, and it's heading towards the greenside bunker. It looks like it's going to head straight for it.
It did. Sand to sand.
I understand that shot.
So
And now
real
she's got a real
difficulties.
tester.
Yes, that will be a tough bunker shot. Side on there at the 15th hole. Oh, Yanni's found herself behind that big tree.
Well, remember what she did the other day when she had difficulties from this spot? She hung it on the edge of the hole.
Got to get it very high over the top. That'll do. That'll do. There's no real drama. It's just a very large tree, really dead in line.
Probably didn't even see it.
Yanni has another chance for another birdie.
Well, we know that the lip of the bunker, the fairway bunker, is quite steep at 9, and the greenside bunker likewise, Kate.
It certainly is, and she's going to have to aim this about 10 yards left of the pin, so it needs to land it on that slope, let it start to trickle down towards the hole. Looks like she has judged this extremely well. Keep on coming.
Oh, wow.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Wow, she has played a blinder there. That is some sort of shot. Well done, Sairee.
Well, that was shades of Jess Corder with her shot out of the bunker at 10 yesterday. And that was a piece of wizardry.
Interesting way to play the 9th.
Here's So-yeon. What a good 2-putt this would be from round about 70 feet, you would have to say. And that's a good birdie for the Rookie of the Year from last year. And she gets it up now to 7 under. 1 under for the day. 5 back from the lead. Still in line for a very big check at day's end.
Can Yanni add another one to these multiple number of red figures? Oh, easy as you like. 8 under on today's round. She's at -9. Now, she is only 3 out of the lead. Mind you, she's now got 16, 17 and 18, 3 of the hardest holes on this golf course. But, wow, isn't that some sort of move today?
Well, she needs to pick up 1 more to equal the course record that Stacey Lewis set the other day, and 3 or 4 other players have already had their name on, including Stacey Pramanasood and Naomi Azato and Nicole Castrali. And IK Kim, I think, is another one of the players who shot 63. Now, this is very, very rapid for Beatrice. She is only just going to have to help this on its way, and even then she might not be able to stop it at the hole. Best way to stop it at the hole here is put it in the hole.
Yes, I think it's the only way.
Yeah.
Well, another phone has gone off.
Thank you.
Just needs to breathe on this.
Stop.
Well, it's the only way I was going to stop. That was 15, 20 feet past if it didn't hit the hole.
Pick up pace. Well, it didn't go in, but it got the next best helping hand by catching a lot of the edge of the hole, pulling it up. That was going to go a long way past.
In contrast, Ariya, after that magnificent second shot out of the cabbage on the left-hand side, has a realistic birdie opportunity. We know this will come from her right. A bit more than she thought.
Well, regardless of what happens, see that there? It's 1 under 35 out. Regardless of what happens today, hasn't this young 17-year-old made her mark this week?
She certainly has, and she might have her name on the trophy alongside some famous names later on. This is a birdie opportunity for Jarina Pillar, who'll have to be content with her par. She's moving along nicely, 3 under par for the day, having just picked up a birdie at 10. So she's got herself back up into a tie for 4th. That's a really strong performance from her after shooting low in the first round, the pressure of playing in the last group in the second round, and she stood up to the task really well. It's been an impressive week from her.
Certainly has. Beatrice just wants to keep this on the right edge. There's going to be a decent bit of right to left break in this. Just depends on the pace she hits it at. Oh, well done. Good firm stroke. So it is all very even stuff for Beatrice, still sitting where she started the day and in a tie for 4th place.
Well, Yanni looks nice and relaxed as she sits in front of the Honda CRV at 16 with Brittany Lincecum and Hyun Han. And that magnificent vehicle is up for grabs, and I think Yanni could do with that in the garage, maybe a bit later on. The way she's playing, you wouldn't put it past her, even though it's a very tough hole. It's playing 187 today for 16.
Girls all look like they're in a team, all in their varying pinks. This is Inbee, the reachable 10th hole. Just one behind our leader. Down the hill. Oh, come on now. Just sneak on. That's very good. That is now going to be for eagle.
And the outright lead momentarily. At least. Stacey Lewis, her second shot to 10. And she's come up with a good one too, so she's also in eagle territory.
Sayri picks the line. Straight over those bunkers. Now, what sort of kick is she going to get? Oh, it's in the rough. That's what you mustn't do. Get caught up in that rough. Took it a little too tight. You've got to be far enough out where you're away from it to take advantage.
Well, it's the second time she's been right in a row off the tee. Remember, she found the right trap at 9. Lizette Salas at 11 from the left side, for 10 I should say, from the left side, and she puts herself up into birdieable range. Nicely done. And here's part of the reason that we're going to have a bit of an issue throughout the day.
You don't even just see phones out there now. It's the iPads and everything else. It's quite extraordinary. Beatrice Ricari. Beatrice not the longest of hitters. If she can just take the left edge of that right bunker, just to make sure she doesn't pick up the rough. Oh, that'll do it nicely. Didn't get much run out of that, but that's fine. It's centre of the fairway.
Longest measured drive for Beatrice this week so far has been 268, so she got one of them out there. And as you say, not necessarily known as the longest player. Now, here's these eagle opportunities at 10. First of all, Stacey. Not quite cast iron birdie, but close enough.
Jutanagan. Oh, I never quite know with her. She pulls her hand off a lot. And look at that. Now, that is stopped where its pitch mark is. That's the height she gets on the ball. It just comes straight down out of the air. If she could get it somehow a little lower and a little bit more projecting forward, she would get the kick off there and end up miles down.
Well, her longest drive this week so far has been 269. Sayree's got it longer than that. Stacey's got it longer than that. Inbee's got it longer than that.
Yes, but hers will have been all carry.
Yeah, exactly. Inbee for eagle. Has she got it there? Well, she's going to get a birdie, but she'll be disappointed that she didn't at least get it to the hole. But for the moment, at least, we have joint leaders. Inbee Park joins Area Jutanagan at 12 under.
Nayeon Choi, -2 for today. Yes, there's a nice shot. Come on, just keep feeding down. It's hard to imagine till you're actually down at ground level what a factor that the slopes have on these greens. You don't see it on TV, which is unfortunate, because when you walk around them, it's really quite something.
And here's one of them at 16 today. It's playing 187 yards. And they've had an awful long wait here. The pin's 16 on 7 from the left, but it's a little bit misleading in that they actually have, it's actually 6 paces onto the green from the nearest edge that they'll fly over. And the bunker that is in their line of sight is actually 11 paces from the edge of the bunker to the hole. So it's very little margin for error.
Oh, good.
She likes it, and that's why.
Wow, that
Really got the car.
was all over the flagstick. Now, she's not going to be able to see where it's finished because the bunker lip sticks up there and you can't see from the tee to the bottom of the flagstick. Lizette Salas, 4 birdie on 10. That's 2 under for the day for Lizette Salas. So 1 under for the day. Tie for 8th.
Shan Shan second at 11. 4 back from the lead. Major champion last year in the Wegmans LPGA. And she really has started to develop iconic status in her home nation of China. And as Mike Wan told us yesterday, part of the reason we're playing in Beijing in October this year is because of the success of that young lady. Oh no! Well, that's a birdie opportunity that Stacey Lewis will be kicking herself all the way to the 11th tee for missing. And that might be just about chance gone.
Well, we have seen a number of short putts missed by Stacey Lewis both yesterday and today. So frustration will set in. Jarina Pillar, 4 birdie. No, didn't have the line or the pace on that one. Yes, that was an extraordinary major win of Shan Shan. First Chinese player, male or female, or to have won an LPGA event, let alone a major, or LPGA or men's PGA. So she's certainly got things moving in China.
Yeah, there's been a sporting revolution really in recent years in both tennis and golf on the female side of things with Li Na and Shan Shan. Inbee's tee shot at 11, our joint leader at 12 under. There's that low ball flight and a good kick as well. And to the surprise of absolutely nobody, she's right in the centre of the fairway.
Beatrice Ricari, second shot, 210. Can she get it there? Come on, keep bouncing. No, just stay there. Don't go too far now because it's going to bring the edge of that bunker into play. Awkward little pitch for Beatrice, but at least she's not in the rough.
Yeah, not too bad, and difficult for Beatrice because she just doesn't quite have the length to be confident of getting home in 2. Lizette Salas with the driver in hand at 12. Good sign. Reaches down, picks the tee up straight away. And she's split the middle as well. Goes chasing on past Inbee's ball. And hopefully comes up with a good lie. That's fine because it was on 11 yesterday. Remember that we saw a ball landing in a divot. That is the ball of Area Jutatagan. And that has sat down a little bit.
Yes, that's going to be very, very difficult. Very little room to work with. She's got a few going astray. She's recovered well so far, but can't keep happening.
Just got the look about her at the moment that she's starting to feel the pressure of the situation a little bit.
Shan Shan. That on 11 caught plenty of the hole. We see that often. Unless you're in the centre, they really don't drop in. But so much action is going on these holes now. I might go for a wander shortly.
Well, you're lucky because you'll be able to walk inside the ropes. If you're walking outside the ropes, it might take you a while to get around. Here's Sayri knocking it down as far as she can. And she wanted that to go in the bunker, didn't want it to hang up on the edge. Well, you go for a walk and hopefully you might see nearly as good an hour and a half or so of action as you saw yesterday.
Well, can't beat 5 birdies in a row. I'll go and see if it can all happen again.
Enjoy it.
Will do.
Kate Burton will be stepping into the box shortly. Nayeon just shaves the edge of the hole. She's having a good day at -2, but could have been a whole lot better. She's going to feel as though she's left a couple out there. That's exactly the body language that she's displaying at the moment. So Inbee Park's joined Arya Jutanagan in the lead, and there are a few signs that the youngster might be feeling the heat of the situation. They say this is where it all begins. Shan Feng, by the way, tapped in and made her par at the 11th, and so she remains at -8. So our joint leaders are the Korean and the Thai. Inbee Park and Arya Jutanagan at 12 under. Yani Singh has still got 3 holes to make up a couple more shots, and who knows if she could post a score, anything might happen. From the middle of the fairway, Inbee Park, our joint leader, second shot to 11. Hole located today in the back right corner. She would have expected that it might have hopped forward a little bit more than that. Around about 18 to 20 feet for a birdie for Inbee. Not a blemish on her card, and 5 birdies today. A big charge coming from the young lady. Took the money list last year. Beatrice, we saw play it down just to the first cut. She's coming in at a pretty sharp angle here at 10. Needs something to happen. She's still 4 back from the lead, so she's got to get a red figure on the card, and this might be as good an opportunity as she gets. And that was always going to be the danger, that popped it into the bank, it might just completely kill it stone dead, and that's what happened. And her birdie opportunity is going to be a long one and an improbable one. Middle of the fairway for Stacey. Can she get it all the way back there? Well done. Hard to get it back to that back corner. And the player of the year from last year will be anxious to get back what she would feel like was a drop shot at the previous hole, even though she made her par. But effectively, she dropped the shot to the rest of the field with a miss of a birdie putt of only about 3 or 4 feet. Time to update what has been going on in the past hour of our coverage, and first of all we are going to take a look at Beatrice Riccari with a birdie putt here down the slope at the 5th hole. Nicely done. Arya Jutanagan at the same hole down the slope. Kate Burton stepped into the commentary box. You've been watching, Arya. I wonder if she's showing a few signs, but the signs were good early.
And they're going to look good on the back 9, and this is where we find Yani Singh, the world number 1. Here she is at the 12th hole. Par 3 12th. Her tee shot. Oh, another sensational shot. She walked up and Julie tapped this in to surge into contention.
Well, apart from Yani, the big charge has come today from Inbee Park. Here she is at the 7th with her 3rd shot. She'd already made a birdie at 1, a birdie at 5. And a delightful approach using the contours, put it to birdie range. She made it and was 3 under for the day.
The South American player enjoying her 2nd year on tour, Lizette Salas. Here she is at the 8th hole. Made a good opening birdie at the par 5. Very smart play from the young American.
Well, most people were getting it very close at 8. Stacey Lewis didn't. As it turns out, it didn't matter. Hold the bomb there at the 8th hole.
Apparently 2 under up to this stage was Shan Feng for her round today. Here she is at the 9th. Such a difficult green. Dastardly pin. Can't see it, but wasn't afraid of the dark. Dived into the hole and a birdie for Shan.
1 putt from above the hole. Here's another. Inbee Park to go out in 32. And she was really starting to get the charge going now.
Very classy player on tour, the world number 8, So Yeon Yu. big putt here. It's for an eagle. Not to be, but she did go ahead and tap in for a 4, and that moved her to 7 under.
At the 15th, Yani Singh moved it to 8 under par for the day. It has been a sensational final round charge from the world number 1.
Out in level par 36, here is Lizette Salas on the 10th, her 3rd. Super shot from Salas, just below the hole, and she holed that for a birdie, and that moved her 7 under.
Now here's Area from down in that fluffy rough. She's done a pretty good job of that. Very difficult to be confident what sort of contact you're going to make from the rough here. And she's left herself underneath the hole with a birdie putt.
Wow, this is for another birdie for Yani Singh. What a round. Oh, what a shame.
Yes, just a garden variety 3. Has been some sort of move. Look at the perfectionist that she is. She wants to hole absolutely everything, and pretty well today she has.
Oh, she had such a good opportunity there.
Sayri out of the trap, hole high at 10.
Oh, well, after that magical bunker shot that she played on the 9th hole, which was to near perfection, I'm not quite sure. It looked like she moved all over that. It was a slightly uphill lie, so she had to get her body parallel to the ground. It looked like she moved her weight through, which caused her just to hit it fat and leave it in the bunker.
And now all of a sudden what she finds is that she is a lot closer to the lip, and that lip is a severe one, as you can tell by the descent she's had to make to get down into the trap. So she's got to lift this one up pretty quickly. And because of having to lift it so quickly, she got nothing behind it. So it's falling apart, unfortunately, for Sayri at the 10th.
One ahead at the 11th, Inbee Park. Well, this is a big putt for Inbee.
This for the lead. Been a magnificent charge. That is 3 birdies in a row now for Inbee Park, and that roar would have been heard on the 10th hole behind her.
And that is a new leader. For the first time, she finds herself at the very top of the leaderboard in sole possession. This is going to be an enthralling back 9 as we watch Sayri Pak finding herself struggling here at the 10th hole.
She's got that left foot bogey, and that will take her back to -6, which means that she is 6 shots out of the lead, and that means that her chances are effectively, if they weren't over already, they are now. Lizette Salas has been shown the way and very nearly duplicated. A lot to like about the way she handles the pressure of being in the last few groups. She's 23 years of age, and she is learning a lot in these formative years, and she looks as though she's enjoying the experience as well. Effervescent character.
It's a curler for Beatrice Ricari, but it is for birdie. What a lovely putt.
Still in the hunt. 4 back. We've been saying that a lot about Beatrice, but she's going to have to keep on making birdies now that Inbee is. Speaking of birdies, Stacey leaves one to the low side there. And you think that probably the fact that she was only able to make par at 10 might have just about ended her chances as well. So realistically, Kate, I think we're probably looking at 4 possible winners at the moment. Obviously the 2 are Inbee and Area, but Yani, who knows? Beatrice is hanging in there.
And we know how strong Beatrice is on the back nine.
Yeah.
She started the round 8 under par, and she was 8 under on the back nine over the past 3 days. Oh, and another shot slips by for Arya Jutanaghan. I just feel she's making it very hard out there. She's not necessarily giving herself the best chances. She's having to hit a lot of shots from the rough, and that's what you want to avoid at all peril. Very hard to get any control over the ball.
Well, effectively, that's a drop shot, but to par, it's still going to be a par. So the gap between them is still going to be 1, but everyone else is walking off thinking 4. And unfortunately for Sairee, she's going to be 2 worse than that if this falls. It's been exciting to watch it charge again, though, hasn't it? Turns back the clock a little bit.
It certainly does. Yes, and she burst onto the scene back in 1998, winning 2 majors in her opening season. Only Korean then. Well, this is a hole she will want to forget in a hurry. She's given them away in a flurry of shots after venturing into the bunker for her second. This is for a double bogey now.
Well, that's scarcely believable.
Carry for birdie, Wayne, not even.
Yesterday, this hole was the 3rd easiest on the golf course. And it really is there for the taking. It's a downhill par 5. Players generally a bit miffed if they come away with a par, because it is there for the taking.
Well, only one other player has made a double bogey on this hole today, and her name was Jutanaghan. Moria Jutanaghan.
Yes, both sisters playing this week, both sponsors' invites. Oh, Area is a sponsor's invite.
Birdie putt for So-yeon Yu at 12. And drains it as well. Very positive stroke from the Rookie of the Year. Picked up a couple on the back nine. She's got it to -8. 5 off the lead. No real damage done, but it'll feel as though she's given up 1. And that 1 shot is the difference that she finds herself away from Inbee Park, who is at lucky 13 under par at present as she marches towards the par 3 12th. Arya marches towards the par 4 11th. Yani Seng still with 2 holes to play. 17's very tough. Possibility of a birdie perhaps at 18 to maybe get it to -10. It probably won't be enough, but she's given us a big ride, and if she can make a birdie over the final 2 holes, she will equal the course record. It's Park, Jutanaghan, Seng and Rakari, the contenders in Thailand at the Honda LPGA. One of the principal reasons the opening LPGA event in Thailand and this year the second event on the LPGA Tour has been such a phenomenal success can be attributed to the support of key sponsor Honda, with their involvement since 2006. The tournament reflecting Honda's spirit of rising to challenges in everything they do, whilst maintaining the highest levels of professionalism in golf and business. And it's really in line with Honda's corporate philosophy of the power of dreams and challenging the spirit. It attracts the very best players each year, and the standard of play has been an inspiration to the many fans who have watched players such as Yani Seng over the years. The champion of the past couple of years, here she is with her second to this very difficult and daunting 17th. And she'll be hoping that that just takes the slope a little bit and maybe feeds on down, but it was just a little bit to the right of the slope. Still a birdie opportunity though. Still a chance to get it to 9 under for the day.
And always a chance when Inbee Park is on the short stuff and she's on the green. Very rare you ever see her miss. Now this tracking towards the hole. Quite a difficult read from there. our outright leader, Inbee Park, starting with those three birdies on the trot, 9, 10 and 11. But it will be a par here at the 12th with this tap-in.
She'll be hoping that her putting progression continues for the week. Her putts for the week so far have been 29, 28, 27. Anything better than that today, and that might mean victory. Let's go back one now. And as promised, Sandra McKenzie has made her way out to our final group, and Sandy, Beatrice Vicari is going to be first to play here at the 11th.
Yeah, she certainly is paid into this uphill green. 147 to the flag for Beatrice. Quite a big false front on the front of this green. Breezes coming across left to right. Beautiful conditions out here at the moment. Overcast, gentle breeze.
Do you have any trouble making your way through the people, Sandy? Because there are plenty of them.
I didn't bother about that. I just drove straight down the fairways.
Oh, as you usually do.
Now this is turned over right to left. It's going to be a long, long way from the flag.
Just needed to get back there a little bit more. It's not too bad.
Not holding, though. It's getting further away.
Now Area Jutanagahan is 1-4-3 coming in from the right-hand side. Good looking contact. Started left of the flag though, just sort of more central green.
Seem all that happy with it. Let go of the club halfway through it. I wonder if she thought she took it a little bit fat, because there was a pretty big divot from there.
She is really feeling the pressure now. Just a few little tells with her body language. She was just ripping at her collar there. And that's not a criticism, it's just an observation, because if you are not feeling nervous in this situation in your home country, then there's something wrong with you.
Well, she could be the first Thai player in history to win an LPGA event, should she win today. So she talked earlier about feeling the pressure.
A birdie for Yanni. Not quite. Have not been a lot of them on 17 throughout the week. Just 9 so far today. She's got the opportunity of making a birdie perhaps at the last, which is playing the 13th most difficult hole, averaging 4.89. So it's going to be a par there, and maybe a birdie at 18 to equal the course record.
Now, world number 3, Stacey Lewis. Okay, I'm intrigued because there's a good putt, but the previous putt she had a cross-handed putting grip. That time she didn't. It's an interesting time to be working on your putting grip when you're out on the golf course in the final round of a big LPGA tournament.
Well, her shake of the head and puff of the cheeks might indicate that she is just as mystified as you are.
Well, that one worked, so I'd stick with that.
Second shot for Shan Shan Fung at 13. Hole location today, 21 on 7 left. Round about there. So the lady known as Jenny is going to be putting for a birdie, and that would take her to 8 under.
Now Yanni cleaning up with a par. This tap-in, keep her at 9 under.
You must be feeling much the same as you were last Sunday afternoon, watching Yanni on the charge in the final round.
Yeah, she was wondering, how she was going to fare in the off-season, but she's come out in explosive form as ever.
Unfortunately, the damage might have been done in the first few days for Yanni Singh when she fired 75, 68, 72. Left herself too much to do, but she really has put on a show on this final day. But it's Inbee Park, the one who's putting on the best show. 6 under par for the day at minus 13. She leads by a shot. The 17-year-old Area Jutanagahan trying to hold it together and trying to stay in touch is one back as we approach the closing stages. Driver for Stacey at 13. Dogleg right. And she's taken it straight down the middle of the fairway. Being in good position to make the turn and come into a pin which is in the back left.
Now Inbee. Oh, hello.
She wasn't quite as convinced as the people standing behind her going, good shot, good shot. Now that is something you don't see very often with Inbee, an error off the tee.
No, and that bunker's 220 yards off the tee, so it looked like she just carved it a little bit more right than she intended. Tried to take off a bit more than she could chew. She's not the longest player on tour.
Beatrice from long range to get to within 3 of the lead.
It's got to come up the hill quite considerably. It's going to go left to right now.
Talked about Inbee's putting progression going downwards. Unfortunately for Beatrice, she's going in the other way. 24 on the first day, 26 on the second day, 28 yesterday. And most of her scoring has been done on the par 4s this week. And as Kate said before, practically all of it's been done on the back 9. Even par for the front 9, -8 for the back 9.
Yes.
See Mark Worshing just trying to keep Sayri loose there with a little massage. That is the ball of Arya Jutanagan, who has just slid her birdie opportunity by. Increasingly, she is beginning to show signs of frustration out there. And she's just got to hold it all together and do what's got her there in the first place.
Well, she's most probably noticed that obviously the Inbee Park has eclipsed her at the top of the leaderboard, and now it's very hard not to keep on trying to make things happen rather than let them.
Well, there's lots of other things going on here at the golf course this week, and in the village, well, there's the obligatory putting green where you can show everyone how good you are, but just in case you feel like a massage. Now, I'm intrigued that at some stage we haven't found Sandra McKenzie there.
I can't believe I haven't found that place yet. Goodness me.
Well, we'll release you a little bit later on in the afternoon. You might want to buy yourself a new golf bag or any sorts of memorabilia. You can be fed and watered there and welcomed in style at the village, and it's been a very popular spot, a big meeting place and a place where people have conglomerated all week here at the Siam Country Club. We thank Kunchai and everyone else here for what they have done. We're just made to feel like this is a second home, and it has been. We've been coming here that long now. It's become a very familiar place to us and the players.
35 is your total. 114 is your front. That was a lot lower than this one. Yeah, it was definitely lower than this one. If it comes up that little bit short, it's not that bad when up and down. Pins back though. Just 114.
Brad giving Inbee the numbers here on 13, and so he's saying don't worry too much if you don't get it all the way there. This is where a good caddy is so valuable in this situation.
Save you a couple of shots at least, especially at the sharp end of a golf tournament, which is where we find ourselves on this back 9. The 11th hole, Beatrice Ricari.
Good 2-putt from where she was.
Very good finish for Beatrice last week in Australia, tie for 4th, and once again showing signs of real potential here in 2013. Well, Brad was saying it's 114 to the front for Inbee.
Sorry.
Well, they'll still work it out. Let's go and have a look at Shan Shan Fang on the 13th, up ahead on the green, waiting for them to clear. Nice putt.
Gets back the one she dropped at 12 immediately and takes Shanshan to -8, 5 shots out of the lead. So Inbee's deliberated a long time over this. You get the feeling she's just not quite sure about the numbers.
Not an easy shot. Yeah. Not the greatest of strikes after either. Just caught a little bit too much sand, too many grains of sand in her club face.
Hope it came down.
Yes. Well, that was a poor shot. She now finds herself in more trouble.
Well, this opens the door for area. Most definitely. She's unaware, of course, of what's going on with Inbee. They are getting quite a way behind, in fact. Meantime, Lizette Salas has no such predicament because she's in the middle of the fairway about to play her second shot at 13. Again, in line for a big check. Currently in the tie for 9th with Na Yeon Choi. Nicely done. Just runs off a little, but still giving herself a chance of a birdie. Even though she's not thrilled.
She doesn't seem that happy. Oh, what a story she is on the LPGA as well. Her father used to trade mechanical lessons with a pro. Said, I'll fix your car if you can give my daughter a few extra golf lessons. And that's how it all began. Ramon here this week. Travels with her everywhere they go. And I tell you what, if they're in the States, they would have driven there in their truck. A bit tricky in Asia, not that accessible on road.
Stacey Lewis with her second shot to 13. Just over the right edge of that greenside bunker. And over the top of the flag as well. Beautiful looking shot. Would have looked great to Stacey. Remember, she made a birdie at 12, so if she can make one here, and Inbee's in trouble, she might find herself just 2 back from the lead.
Algerina Pilla. Oh. She's 3 under today and 8 under for the tournament. But goes begging.
I said Soyeon had the colours of a great sprinting nation, Jamaica, on with the green and gold. Well, Jarina's got perhaps the Bahamas colours on.
She could go to IKEA.
Or Sweden. Why don't we have a look at the 12th hole? It's playing at 145 yards today, and there's not that much room over the top of the bunker. We posted out this morning, Kate, and it's just 10 paces from that bunker to the hole.
But as it's only 145 yards, you're going to find most players will be able to hit 8 iron, some a 9, maybe a 7 iron. So they'll be able to fly it all the way there to get a little bit of spin, but you've got to be careful because there is a force front at this green. And ideally, the line is just right and let it feed off the slope down towards the hole. 9 birdies today already, so it is playing below its par. 12th hardest or easiest hole on the golf course. These players will be expecting to give themselves a good birdie chance.
They are falling quite a way behind the group in front of them. Beatrice.
Good shot.
Well, she comes back into contention here if Inbee makes a 5. And in fact, she probably doesn't want Area to make a 2 here, because if she can stay within 3 of the lead, she's still very much in the battle with everything that can happen at 17 and 18. Here's the 17-year-old.
This is with 8 iron for Area. This is right at it, straight over the top of the bunker. Looks fantastic.
It might get in.
Fantastic.
Go! Yes, yes, you have. What a time to do that. And the nation celebrates. Let's have another look at it. Extraordinary. Sandy said it looked fantastic in the air. She knew it was close, but just have a listen as well. It's only then that it's drawn on her.
a great feeling for the 17-year-old, certainly showing no signs of agitation as she walks up the 12th.
Can I tell you?
Look and listen. No need for words. The picture said it all. Area Jutanagan is the leader by 1 again after a 1 at 12. And the only bad thing you can say about that is it didn't happen on 16 because she could have got a car as well.
What a treat for the crowds who have come out to the Siam Golf and Country Club today. Let's watch Sayri Pak. A bit of a misread there for Sayri.
Still trying to recover after what happened at the 10th. With that double bogey, and now she's got the look about her that it's going to be a very long walk to the clubhouse.
Now what putting grip is Stacey Lewis going to adopt here? Tried left hand low. Okay, it's more what she's been doing this week.
I think I'd stick with that.
I think we should, yes. Well, a couple of birdies on the trot for Stacey. She moves to 10 under, 4 behind Area.
And she would have thought 2 birdies in a row will bring me back into this. And all of a sudden, Area makes a 1, and she's still 4 back from the lead. So that's made it exceptionally difficult for anyone else apart from Inbee Park. But as we've seen, lots can happen in the closing holes here. Beatrice with a birdie opportunity. They need to start falling.
I'm still trying to come to terms with what a sensational tee shot that was on the 12th for Area Jutanagan. What a time to do it.
Well, any hole in one is a career highlight for you, but to do it in that situation, just at the time when she looked as though she was getting a bit anxious, that she looked as though she was feeling the pressure, the weight of a nation watching on, and then she comes up with that. That's a moment not to be forgotten. And it takes her back to a one-shot lead over Inbee Park, who herself came up with some heroics at 13 to make her par and keep the gap at just 1. Stacey Lewis is 4 back. Is she too far back? The 17-year-old once again is at the top of the leaderboard. We have just witnessed one of the great moments of the LPGA year. Area Jutanagan leads again in Thailand. Lizette Salas's par putt at the 13th. So Lizette knocks that in. And she remains at -7 as they head towards the 14th. Our leader is on the 13th tee, and there must be so much adrenaline flowing through her body at the moment.
Absolutely, Pete, and this is perfectly down the middle. This has been a change of expression completely on her face. From stress to sheer relief. It's been really quite something.
She's given the crowd something to cheer about, Sandy.
Well, Beatrice is going to be next up. As we said, we keep on talking about the gap between Beatrice and the leader. Most of the time it's been 4, but after what's just happened, it's now 5. So that's going to be a very big task for the Spaniard.
Beatrice again, it's good contact, just moving a little right to left, but it should kick back towards the fairway. Can I just say I've only come out and in 2 days I've watched her play 6 holes and she's 7 under. Do you think I should go on the payroll?
Yeah. Can you spend a summer in Europe? Because that's where she's going to be playing.
I can be anywhere, Kate.
Although, a win here today, though, she'll be able to play on the LPGA.
Well, for the amount of money that she's going to earn, I think she might be able to pay Sandy to follow her around. Stacey Lewis. Finally, it gets to her. That has been building for a long time over the last couple of days. At least we can see the top of the golf ball, but the frustration bubbles over for the player of the year. Siam Country Club already boasts 2 world-class layouts, with the old course that we're playing on and the 27 holes at Plantation. By this time next year, another 18 will be added to that rotation, with the Waterside course scheduled to be open for play in early 2014. Designed by Britt Stenson of IMG Golf Course Design Construction, began last August. Waterside will be a championship standard course, will give tournament organisers an actual third option to choose from as a potential host course for the Honda LPGA Thailand. And this really is, it's already a golfing mecca, and it's turning into a place even more so with the development that is going on. Inbee Park coming off that extraordinary par at 13 to stay within one of the lead. Once more, she's having a long look at it.
Oh, just admiring it as it sails down the fairway. Looks like it's taken the fast track as well. So Inbee in commanding position on the 14th.
Now here's the 2007 winner, Suzanne Pedersen, looking very colourful today.
Wow, those are bright colour strides. She's got there. Oh, well, looks like ball was afraid of the dark at the last, couldn't dive into the back of the hole.
Well, if the satellites are taking photos today, if you go onto Google Maps at some stage in the future, you'll probably be able to see that from up in the air. Suzanne closes with a par. Why don't we once again take a look at the shot of the day? Doesn't matter how many times you see this, you'll never get sick of it in the most amazing of circumstances. And the lady who performed it didn't realise what she'd done. Did I really? Great reaction from everyone on the tee, and the gallery went nuts.
Did you see the lady behind her? She was in a state of apoplexy, and so she should.
Incredible. And look at the difference now. Just look at that. Now, she was feeling so tight and tense. You could tell there was a grimace on her face almost, and now she's back to the way she was when she was shooting low.
Before she teed off, her psychologist was on the putting green with her, a lady called Supsai Bunviribut, who looks after both of the players. And that's her sister, that is. And she says that Aria is a much more confident player naturally, mentally, than her sister Moria. But she was told 1 shot at a time today. That's what she's got to think about.
She only took 1 shot on the 12th.
It worked.
Yanni, second to the final hole. She needs a birdie at the last for an equal course record 63, or an eagle at the last, which is now just about out of the question, to break the course record in her own right. It's been a big charge on this final day from the great lady, the world number 1.
Not the first time. Last week she had to get home in 2 on the par 5 in Australia to really give herself a chance of a birdie to surge right into contention, and yet again she pulled it left. Seems to be a shot, you know, maybe struggles with under extreme pressure. Now Rakari.
It's 140 for Beatrice. She started that right of the flag. If it's good for distance, it's going to be good.
And curling closer by the moment. Very good it is. 8 feet or so for Beatrice. We said they have to start falling. She's going to need everything to happen right for her if she is going to challenge. She's 5 back of this lady.
Also at 140. With a bit of new spring in her step, just to the right of the flag if she's got the right club.
And she was calling it to bite. And it did.
Let's move ahead to the 15th hole, and a long-range putt or chip for Jarina Piller. Was the right idea. Very hard to know how it's going to react when it bounces into that rise. How much check you're going to get from the ball.
And it's also one of those shots, Kate, that you can't afford to be too cute with, because if you're a little bit shy, all of a sudden it comes back to your feet again.
Oh, Sary's having a number of outings in the bunkers on the back 9, Sandy.
Yeah, she took the tiger line here and it didn't come off. So 95 to the front from where she is. Add another 21 on to get it back to the pin. She's caught the front lip. No need to go in that direction. There's plenty of fairway out here, and that's the one place you didn't want to be.
Well, that's the bunker that Inbee was in, and she managed to scramble an amazing par. Sayri is going to have to come up with something quite out of the ordinary to do likewise. Long bunker shot here for Yanni. She's got to get the ball all the way up to the back tier of the green, and then just hope it doesn't spin too much. Just check it up beside and hopefully not above the hole. A bit like that. So that putt will equal the course record. Last year, on this day, she put it inside that distance with her third shot to win the title. Stacey Lewis shot a 63 on Thursday. Yanni Seng shoots a 63 on Sunday. Comes home with a rush. It probably won't be enough, but what a ride it's been on the final day for the world number one. 31-32. That is simply brilliant. Not a blemish on her card all day. An outstanding round of golf by the world number one.
And to start off with an eagle on the opening hole. Spectacular fashion, and just what we come to expect from Yanni. She's been at the top of the Rolex rankings now for 106 weeks. Gap is closing, mind you. It used to be clear distance between her at first and second. Such is the talent here on the LPGA. Now Pillar. Oh, what a good up and down that was.
Excellent. Had a string of pars now after making a birdie at 10. Still in line for a very big check, and I was singing her praises. I think she's done a good job this week after that low round early on to hang in there and still be up near the top come Sunday afternoon. Shan Shan down the slope, very quick. And there's one by the board for her. So that's going to be the last three holes, bogey, birdie, bogey. She's back to 7 under, and she's locked in a four-way tie for 7th with IK Kim, So-Yeon Yu and Lizette Salas.
Just stand still, thanks.
Gallery's taking every single vantage point they can. The atmosphere once we get to 18 today is going to be something to behold. 18 was pretty much lined last year when Yanni and Ai Miyazato came up locked in battle. Can you imagine what the atmosphere is going to be like today? Everyone crouching to get a good look. I think they've got the hole surrounded.
They've got it covered, haven't they?
Well, I can tell you, it's a bizarre atmosphere out here at the moment since she made that hole in one. Everybody's kind of walked around a little bit numb up this next hole. It's really quite surreal. But if this one happened to go in, they will hear this in Bangkok.
We'll come back to you, Sandy, when that putting eventually does get underway, because they're taking their time about it, and that's part of the reason that they're a fair way behind. Stacey Lewis can see enough of the golf ball that it might be a little bit easier for us. Second shot to 14 after she vented her frustration on the tee. And out of the rough, she's not going to check that up.
I was always going to get a flyer from that position. She's 2 under the card today, Stacey. Just came off a couple of good birdies on 12 and 13. Now, middle of the fairway once again is Inbee Park. Not the most conventional golf swing, but it repeats time and time again. But left it short, and one of the false fronts here at the old course. If you don't get your yardage just right, come up a little bit short. Looked like that was a tad heavy. And she will be off the front of the green, now chipping and having to hole a putt to save par.
The only thing you could say about that is you're better off being that distance short than that distance long at 14. Birdie opportunity, no, it's not. This will be a par for Sayri, because remember, she hit the lip. So there's another shot goes by the board. A really daunting stretch for the players to come, and Sayri has gone through a stretch where you might expect that you might be able to make a bit of a score, and she's going in the other direction. So she's going to drop back to -4.
She's doing an awful lot of coughing out here, Sayre. I don't know if she's 100% well.
But she's giving it up in a flurry of shots. LPGA and World Golf Hall of Famer Pack, but now another chance for Area.
Inbee Park, a couple of holes ahead, keeps on hearing these roars. Look at the celebrations going on behind her. 1-3 she's gone on a par 3 and a par 4. And now she's 2 in front. Beatrice has got to be thinking, I'm playing okay here, I'm giving myself a lot of opportunities, and yet it's all going the way of the young lady. She can get one closer here, but all of a sudden now she finds herself 6 back. So this has got to fall. That's a good reaction, because there'll be a lot of things going on around her. As Kate mentioned before, when she was out there, the galleries just move every time Area holes out. There's pandemonium around the hole. Up ahead.
Oh, this is going to be a little bit slick for Stacey Lewis. It's one of the most difficult holes on the golf course. Now look where she has landed that. And you can see, oh, look, there is a slight ridge, and it will drop down towards the hole, and now she faces an extremely slick putt.
Well, there are a few greens on this golf course where you cannot be above the hole. 9 is one, this is another, 17 is another.
And that's got to stay.
Inbee, even though she was in a better position than Stacey because she was coming up the green, has left herself with a lot of work to do. They're starting to celebrate already out on the golf course. Thailand champion. Wow. Maybe later on.
I like him. Maybe Sandy could catch up with him out on the golf course a little bit later on. I'm sure he hasn't just come off the golf course and played.
Well, the only downside to that is our senior director, Wayne Suter, is actually wearing that very same outfit to our awards night tonight, and he's none too pleased that someone else has got the same thing. Now, this is still down the slope for Stacey, still accelerating. That distance left for a bogey.
Well, making a meal of the 14th. Stacey is one who will look at the leaderboards and know exactly what the situation is, and she's 2 under par today and finds herself 5 back of the lead.
Why don't we take a look at the 14th, measuring 418 yards par 4. This is what it looks like from the tee. Slightly elevated tee shot, middle of left centre, probably the aiming point. But as we said, Kate, once you get up there, don't be above the hole.
It was the hardest hole yesterday on the golf course, and that was mainly due to the back left pin position. Today, the pin is at the front, as we've seen a number of players trying to tackle it earlier. So distance control, once again, imperative. If you're long, you're facing an extremely daunting putt, and if you're short, you're going to be chipping to try to get up and down. Still the hardest hole. Just 2 birdies today, playing well over its par. And even when you have a pin at the front, you sometimes automatically think it's going to be easy, but it isn't.
Now that is drifting down the left-hand side. We'll pick up the rough.
Yes.
I wonder if we're going to see, if she does come up 17 and 18 with a couple of shot lead, whether she might just back it off a little bit, unlike yesterday. That'll be intriguing. Oh, Inbee misses one, so the lead is stretched. The lead all of a sudden is 3 shots for Area, the lead that she started the day with.
But Area has a very difficult shot, as we saw with Stacey Lewis, who had to come in from the left rough and bounded all the way through the back of the green.
Beatrice's tee shot at 14.
Breeze blowing into them here. You would expect this to be down the centre, and yes, it will be left centre.
Now, Beatrice not the longest player in this group. She averaged about 253 yards, Sandy, this week, and Sary's a little bit longer, but Area, the long player.
The consistency, Kate, is exceptional.
91% of fairways hit in the first 3 rounds, Beatrice. That's a bogey for Stacey Lewis, and that surely will end the challenge. 6 back from the lead. So she's gone birdie, birdie, bogey, 12, 13, 14.
Yes, this golf course is hard, but when you miss the fairway off the tee, it makes it even more difficult. The approach shots demand so much accuracy.
Couple of eagles this week for Jarina Pillar, so she could do with an eagle here, and if she gets one, she'll get a car. No car for you, but it will be an outside chance of a birdie at very best for Jarina Pillar, who finds herself in 6th place by herself at present at -8. But Area doing all the right things. Just when it looked as though she might be feeling the heat in the kitchen, she stepped out and gone eagle, birdie. And the eagle being a hole in one at the 12th. She leads now by 3 after Inbee's made a stumble at the 14th. Is she within reach of victory? Still a bit more to go, and maybe some more frustration and some more joy along the way as Thailand gets ready to celebrate in Pattaya. Inbee 3 back now. She's just been looking a little anxiously at the drives lately. Needn't worry about that one. That's in very good shape. Maybe a little bit more left than she wanted it to be, but that's okay.
Important shot for Area.
Oh, this is such a lousy lie, and this is so well done. It's going to be at the front of the green. That's the best she could possibly do.
Well, that was a good result, as you say, from where she was. Ball nestled down in the rough. Hasn't gone beyond the hole, which is so critical here.
Really going to be intriguing to see her approach in these closing holes, because she'll probably be aware of the fact that she's 3 shots in front. And she questioned her own decisions on the way in yesterday. So will we see her take the foot off the gas, or is it just going to be flat to the floor like it normally is?
Well, the leading amateur in the world, Lydia Ko, here on the final hole. It was the right idea. Lydia 3 under par today. So when just before Area turned pro, she was a 2nd-ranked amateur to this girl. I can't even say lady. She's only 15 years old. And, you know, they really have been making headlines from the start of 2013. Area was tied for 2nd in the Australian Masters. Lydia Ko won the New Zealand Open the week after. And then she very nearly came close to capturing the Australian Women's Open last week. And now we see Area once again leading the charge here in Thailand.
Familiar figure of Iria's Arto. Sliding one by with her birdie opportunity at the final hole. So another of the past winners finishes out and finishes with a 71. And that takes her to -3. 36-35 for I, the 2010 winner here at the Honda LPGA.
Good round for Lydia Ko. 5 under par, currently in a tie for 13th place, and she's got a lot of energy and stamina. Good to see her playing with Paula Creamer. That would have been great experience. This is her 4th event on the trot. Normally most players only play 3.
Oh,
she nearly did it again.
But she's got a slippery one there now that it's gone by the hole. Camera foreshortens the distance. It's probably about 3 or 4 feet at a guess. We can check that with Sandy just how far she is past the hole, but she's going to need to be very careful with it.
Yes, that's gone a good 4 feet past the flag, so a very difficult shot to judge there, coming up that steep bank.
Not in the book just yet. Let's go ahead to 16.
Well, player who grew up in New Mexico, Jarina Pillar. Long player on tour. Also left-hand low. From across the green at 16. A good weight of putt. And after that disappointing second round for Jarina, where she had a 74 in response to her opening round of 67, she's got back on track again. Can't believe she started golf at the age of 15.
It's incredible.
That's the age that Lydia Ko is.
Yeah, well, when you read the biographies of the players, it's nearly always started at age 5, 6, thereabouts. And you're absolutely right about her disappointing second round, but there were lots to like about the second round. She was 2 over par after 6 and finished 2 over par, so she's done a really good job to hang in there. Lizette Salas with her approach at this short par 4 15th. And you know what's going to happen when you pitch it into the bank. All the way down to the fringe, which means that the pin is cut 27 on, so she's going to have 60 feet and then some. And really, that's the price you pay from that short distance. If you can't get it up onto the top level, it's a heavy penalty to pay.
Someone with a magical touch with a wedge is Inbee Park. Oh, lovely. Good shot. Wow, Inbee, that sets her up with yet another chance of a birdie, looking to rectify the bogey that she recorded at the 14th hole. 3 behind Area, but we know that Area's got this slider of a 5-footer downhill.
It's probably not likely we're going to see a 2-shot swing, but it's possible with Inbee putting for birdie and Area's putt coming in a moment. First of all, Sandy's looking on as Beatrice comes up the slope here, so she can have a bit of a run at this, Sandy.
Yeah, she certainly can, but there will be some left to right. Very difficult pin position this, because it's only 8 paces on, but half of that distance just slopes straight off the front of this green. So this was a spectacular shot by Beatrice in here with the rescue club. Very small target. So up the hill, left to right.
Oh, not
Something's
another
got her
phone.
again.
She had 2 birds and 3 mobile phones on the front 9. What's she got to deal with on the back?
Yes, it's very hard to... they're doing the best they can to keep this quietness down, but there's always that elusive mobile phone.
She keeps giving herself a good chance,
Yep.
Beatrice.
Yep.
Keeps on very makeable birdie putts. Previous hole, she held a lovely putt for a 3 at 13. She's always there or thereabouts.
Well, we talked about her greens and regulation figures overall for the first 3 days were not very good considering the amount of fairways she's hit, but I think today that number has gone up quite considerably.
I think a strong performance will see her break into the top 50 as well on the Rolex rankings very soon.
Second shot for Stacey Lewis, needing to get it on the right plateau at 15. And she's done that for the moment, but it may not stay there. That's gone.
Oh, it's a cruel game, isn't it? Look at that. That makes a good shot look very average indeed.
Well, it's not the first time that Stacey Lewis has stood there in the 15th fairway and seen the ball come back down towards her, because the other day she absolutely hit the pin flush and it came all the way back from the back pin, similar pin position today, to off the green, and she made her par. Area watches on and waits as Sayri prepares to come up with a very slippery one, Sandy.
Yeah, it's a lot further in distance, but she's on the line of Area, so she'll be a very interested spectator. This is going to be very, very quick. So close.
It was the right idea. Now, Area Jatanagan on the practice putting green practiced a lot of putts of this length that we're going to see her strike shortly.
In the meantime, Lizette Salas from all the way down on that lower tier. that?
How good was that?
Nothing but net. That is a slam dunk. We are seeing some stuff today.
Wow. Because if that hadn't have hit the hole, I would
She was
have
miles past.
pounding through the green.
She should be saying thank you.
Certainly worth another look.
A slam dunk. That's magnificent.
Stacey Lewis looking on, going, well, I hit the pin on Thursday.
Yeah,
You
why
struck
couldn't
the
I do
pin.
that?
Yeah, mine rolled off the front of the green.
Now back to the important stuff. Now is that a bogey for Area? Because she was beyond the hole when we saw her.
Yes, it was a bogey. First one slipped by very swiftly.
Wow, okay, Sandy, thanks for that. Now, so that means that Area has dropped back to minus 14 and her lead is back to 2, and Inbee Park will have a birdie opportunity coming up at the 15th very shortly. So all sorts of things going on out here on the golf course. Area Jutanagan leads by 2. Inbee Park with the opportunity of getting that back to 1 very shortly coming up at the 15th hole. And Yani Singh, after equaling the course record with a 63, is in the clubhouse, and Beatrice Riccari is out there at the same mark at minus 10. The leaders too, things are happening as they have been all day here in Thailand.
So both Area and Sayri both gone past. Looks better, but it's still going to go well past.
Certainly the best of the 3 putts.
I have a chance to go to school on the other 2. Very hard to judge the weight when you're coming up over such an extreme rise. Especially when you only had a wedge and it was just a flick, really, from 80 yards for all 3 players. Tell you what, if you're an amateur around this golf club, you're going to have a seriously good handicap anywhere else.
Yes, exactly right. So back for those 3 par putts in a moment. It's been the story of the day for Stacey Lewis.
Stacey's chances fall by the wayside. She now slips down the leaderboard and is at 9 under par. Needed those birdies.
Perhaps the most important putt of the day to this point. For par. She's got it. That, as we said in the opening to our telecast, seemed like an old head on young shoulders. She's getting closer. That releases the pressure a little bit as well, as you can tell.
Par saver for Lizette. Lily remains 7 under par. 2 holes out there.
Our leader has 3 holes to play, and the closest of the chasers has 2 holes to play. This lady, So Yeon Yu, is at the 17. This is one of the good putts you can have at 17. It's almost straight up the hill. When she gets that opportunity, she doesn't miss very often. So she has picked up 2 birdies in the last 3 holes, and So Yeon moves into a tie for 5th. They're waiting to celebrate perhaps, and there's every chance that they might get to do so in the next 3/4 of an hour or so. Is it going to be a tie victory? Area Jutanagan leads by 2. The 17-year-old is on the verge, but not quite having the engraver ready at the trophy yet. Inbee Park's experience is going to be a factor. Yani Singh lit the place up with an equal course record, and Beatrice Riccari continues to hang in there on the final day at the Old Course in Pattaya. A pass over for Beatrice here at the 16th. So she's looking for a birdie in the last two holes, providing this one goes in, of course, to break out of the tie for third with Yani Singh. It's been a really admirable performance by Beatrice today. Just continued to hang in there.
Number of good players, aren't there, to emerge from Spain. Carlota Ciganda won the Ladies European Tour Order of Merit last year. And nice to check in with the world number 2, Na Yong Choi. She's 8 under through 17.
She left herself with way too much to do earlier in the week. That was her problem. She went 73-71 in the first 2 rounds, and then 67 yesterday put her back into it. Stacey Lewis on the penultimate hole. Right hand is probably the best area. She's calling it to sit. She was a bit worried that it was going to get down too far to the water, but as it turns out, she needn't have bothered.
Now from a good position on the green at 17, got an uphill putt for Shan Shan. A little bit of movement right to left. Oh, that was quick.
Yeah.
Well, the magnificent Honda CR-V has been sitting at the 16th, waiting for someone to claim it, and there are only 3 more players who can do that. And why wouldn't you want to claim it? With the exterior styling, interior design, advanced green technology, and all of the safety features that you would like in a car, this car really does have it all. The Honda CR-V, 3 more players have the opportunity to pocket the keys to this magnificent vehicle, and we are deeply in gratitude to Honda for their great support of this event over the years, and glad to know that it will be continuing. Every vantage point taken at this little bottleneck of the course as our last group makes its way there. Aria in the red, looking relaxed, might belie what might be happening if you're able to put a heart rate monitor on her at the moment.
She might be all smiles at the moment on the outside, but could be somewhat jittery. She realises that the ramifications of her win here today. If she were to win, she would be the 3rd youngest winner on the LPGA, behind Lydia Ko, that was also playing, and Lexi Thompson. Lydia was 15 when she won in Canada, and Lexi was 16 years old when she won the Navistar in 2011. But that is still a few holes away, and there is plenty of golf left, and these are difficult holes, Pete. 16th hole, very long, 187 yards.
17th has been really tough all week. 18th gives you an opportunity to make a birdie, but you have to do everything right with the back pin. 2 shots it is, but it's not in the book just yet, as we keep on saying anything can happen over the closing stretch here in Pattaya. Beatrice Riccari first to play, and yet again she's having to back off. That must be half a dozen times today.
Well, I heard the click of that camera, and I think that is what distracted her, because she has been very good and consistent with her fairway woods today, but she was agitated as soon as she struck the ball. Now that camera has to stop clicking.
Yeah, it's a motor shutter as well, so it's a professional photographer down there, you would think.
You should know better.
Yeah. Want to make sure he doesn't do it here. Where's that gone?
Quite safe, isn't it?
Same place. Bogey would be very easy from there.
She wants to win, but she wants it to be over so soon, doesn't she?
And that can be a real issue. Getting ahead of yourself in this situation can be a problem.
Bunsai needs to give her some very good calming advice right now, her caddy.
Mark Wershing, Sayree's caddy, doing the lining up on what has been a tough day for the great lady.
Good. Pretty good.
They like it.
Oh, yeah.
There's that little bit of dead ground, as we said earlier. It's only 11 paces from that bunker to the hole and 6 paces on the green to the hole. So she's found a little piece of real estate that area would have loved to have found a little bit earlier.
Up ahead, 1 hole to the middle of the 17th fairway with Inbee.
Got to get it close. Preferably under the hole. Will that use the contour?
Oh, yes, it is. Smart play. Keep coming, keep coming. Well, once again, we keep on saying game on. We could well see a bit of a change at the top of the leaderboard here. We know how good a putter Inbee Park is.
See if Lizette Salas can learn from what Inbee's just done. You can actually get it quite a way left of the pin up there and then get it off the slope like this. Both Ai Miyazato and Yani Singh did exactly that last year. They worked it off that slope down to a similar pin position. Perhaps Stacey might be trying to do a similar thing. It really is the best way to the pin here. That just didn't quite get enough of the slope, even though it's going to improve it by 3 or 4 feet, but she's going to be the furthest from the pin. But 3 very good second shots at 17. Now here's Jia Shin to close with a birdie. This would be for a round of 69. A lot of the players have read that putt as coming from the right, and mostly it stayed fairly straight. Need to keep that in mind when we see the last couple of groups putting. GA today got off to a good start. She was 2 under after 3. Picked up birdies as well at 8 and 9. Went out in 33, but unfortunately not as productive on the back 9. 33-37 for a 2 under par round of 70. A tie for 13th at present with Lydia Ko, Jess Corder, Amy Yang and Katrina Matthew. Now back to the chipping action at 16. Sandy McKenzie has made her way from out on the course back into the commentary box, and a couple of wides here from Beatrice and Area.
Well, I didn't even want to come in, Pete. It was so exciting being out there on the course with these players. And, well, this is a little bit of a challenging chip here on 16. Plenty of room to, there should be a lot of right to left in this chip.
Depending on where she is, if she's underneath the hole, it can be a bit straight, or just around from that is right to left.
Yeah, just coming up a little shy there, Beatrice. But what an atmosphere. I can't tell you what it was like out there. It is really quite extraordinary. Sister Moria, she's been out there ever since she played. She saw the hole-in-one, which was pretty exciting.
Isn't
just got out there in time.
Yeah.
Her brother, mum, dad, they're all out there. And
I am so impressed, though, with Area, because when you just thought she was under the pump, she would just come back so strong. And, well, this is going to be a testing shot. 2 ahead. Oh, wow.
Beautiful. Absolutely delightful.
She is just a very, very impressive young lady. She has been for a long time. We have seen her for quite a few years playing in these events up here in Thailand. But she's such an aggressive player, but her composure is really quite extraordinary. So she's got to be feeling the pressure, because you know the consequences for her to win this event at 17 years of age. She's in Thailand.
She played her first LPGA event when she was 11. She was asked about whether she was nervous. She said, I was nervous when I was 11, but I'm not anymore, because I'm 17
She's
now.
old now.
Yeah. Was that Salas to maybe show the way to Inbee Park? The way to make a birdie at 17? It's the way to do it. Up to a tie for 8th now. She's had 2 birdies in the last 3 holes. Important part for Inbee Park coming up in a moment.
Jarina Pillar pitch shot into the 18th. Good effort by her today. Currently at -4 on today's round. That's good, solid golf. Oh, yes, all we can say from there is good luck. It is dynamite from the back.
Well, there's only 2.5 paces underneath the hole where the ridge starts to kick in. So it is devilish. Good illustration of the slope that Sayree faces here with her birdie opportunity at 16, and you knew a long way out that was never going to be high enough to get in.
I actually had a chance to talk to Mark, her caddy, out on the course, and I said, firstly, is she all right? Because she's been coughing. He said, yeah, I don't know where that's come from. He said, she's fine. He said, she just cannot get her distances, seems to catch all the banks and end up on the wrong sides of everything. She's just been like this for 4 days.
And she's all the way down now in a tie for 20th. Already seen 1 birdie at 17. Can we see another? Stacey Lewis to jump up into a tie for 3rd with Yani Singh and Beatrice Riccari. And if you wanted to sum up what has happened to Stacey Lewis over the last couple of days, that's probably it. She has left so many out there.
She hasn't been able to take a trick on the greens, has she? The first day, or first couple of days, they all went in, and they've all stayed out for the last 2. Amy Yang, 3rd shot into 18. This back pin, got to get it all the way onto the back level. Oh, well, there's one of the best shots you'll see. Beautifully judged by Amy, so good chance for birdie, although she is above the hole. It is not very far, but it's going to be very, very quick.
Yeah, we've already seen IK Kim with a similar putt there that she expected to come from right to left, and it turned out to be pretty well straight. So we'll see how Amy reads that shortly. Beatrice, 7 or 8 feet for par.
It's been very good golf this week, or last couple of weeks, from Beatrice Riccari. Put herself in contention.
Good up and down.
It is a very good up and down, and a lot of the time she's been having those lengths for birdies as well, and it's just been really solid stuff, giving herself a lot of chances from a decent range.
Still wanting a birdie. 1 more in the last 2 holes to break out of the tie with Yani Singh. Now, Area needs to pay all due care and attention here. Can't take anything for granted at this stage. Yep, well done. Next step taken. Bit of a smile. Not time to smile just yet, but it's getting closer. She leads by 2. 2 to play. That could be cut to 1 right now.
The pace was the killer there. It was a very, very good putt by Inbee. She gave it plenty, though. And as we've seen time and time again, unless you get them in the centre, not many of them will go in.
Is that her last chance gone begging?
The extraordinary thing here, though, is, of course, we've got two of the toughest finishing holes imaginable. 17, 18. Area has to contend with those. Now, what can Jarina Piller do here? Look where she's aiming. No, stop. It's gone.
Yeah.
Now watch where this... Oh, this is heartbreaking.
It'll be down in the collection area. This will roll off the green. It'll take the right turn now.
Oh, my...
And down she goes.
All you can do is stand there and watch. And now she has a very, very awkward pitch back.
Well, in a couple of minutes' time, she could be faced with a very similar shot if she gets it beyond the hole again. The vagaries of the 18th here at the Old Course. It has witnessed some extraordinary moments over the years, but perhaps we're getting closer to witnessing a moment the likes of which it has not seen, because it could be a local champion, a local victory, and that would send the massive crowd here into a state of celebration and everyone watching on television around Thailand. It's been a case today of amazing area. She leads by 2 in the final round. Is victory about to be hers? Look at that flood of people, that massive humanity that's followed areas every step today. They've made their way down now to the 17th tee.
It's amazing watching that bit of footage. It's the first time I've seen the hole in one, because of course I was down there and I didn't get to see it fall in. Beatrice Ricari. Water crosses this. It's a long way down there. It's something that Beatrice probably won't have to worry about. It's a good 260. Yeah, there it is. Nicely done. Put yourself in a good position.
Got a good piece of that.
Yeah, she did get a good piece of that, didn't she?
Well, here we go with the recovery of Jarina Piller. Not much reaction from the crowd, and unfortunately, she has got nearly the same shot again.
Yeah, now she's got to come from, well, not as far back, but similar line and as quick a line as before.
Get ready for the crowd to exercise their lungs here. Have a listen to the reaction. There's probably not quite as much reaction there because the people can't get behind them that much at the 17th tee.
No, they've all moved down along the fairway and around the back, so she's not bad there. Might be a little bit tight coming in from that angle. Now, Jarina Piller. Oh, here you go again.
Well, she could have done that the first time. So that for a bogey. And it would still see her finish the week at 8 under. That would be in a tie for 7th, so it would be a very productive week, but it just doesn't feel like that at the moment. It has been a wonderful host venue yet again in 2013. The Old Course at the Siam Country Club in Pattaya, Thailand. If ever you get to this part of the world and if you like your golf, you've got to come out and see it. Not only the Old Course, but the Plantation Course as well, and the Waterside Course is under construction. And we thank everyone here in Pattaya, and in particular at the Siam Country Club, for making us feel welcome, and also for producing this golf course in simply magnificent fashion for this increasingly important tournament, the second tournament of the LPGA year of 2013. Peter Donegan, Sandy McKenzie in the commentary box with you for the final stages today, and area Juttanagarn of Thailand getting closer to what would be a remarkable victory. The 17-year-old leads by 2. She's got 2 to play.
Well, you just got to wonder what is going through the mind. I mean, when you're out there with her too, just all the crowd as she walks past, the comments and things, just the excitement. And this has got to be a pretty daunting prospect, very exciting one, but a daunting prospect. She's just got to keep her mind on what's ahead. Got a hole and a half to go. Admittedly, a lot can happen on that hole and a half that she has. Two incredibly daunting finishing holes here.
Whilst we wait for those second shots to be played at 17, we duck up ahead to Amy Yang. Now, will this one do what IK's putt did, stay outside right edge? Well, she was a lot more direct, and she comes up with a birdie at the last. Round of 70 to close for Amy. Puts her up into a tie for 12th with Lexi Thompson at 6 under. Prodigiously talented player, Amy Yang. I'm sure that we're going to see her win and win big one day. Bogey putt for Jarena Pillar at the last.
Well, she'll certainly be pleased to see the back of the 18th.
And in fact, that's a double bogey. So it's a 70 for Jarena. And she finishes up in a tie for 9th.
What a disappointing way to finish. Now, this is an important shot. Bad angle she's coming in on. The left-hand side, the pin is front right, so she's going to skirt close to the edge of those bunkers. You never know with her what's happening. She pulls the hand off the club a lot. Obviously just didn't catch it as she had a good line, didn't catch it as she wanted. So come up a little light on.
So a bogey on the cards here for our leader. Remember, Inbee Park doesn't have a lot of length about her for 18, but she's got the guile to still make a birdie. Lizette Salas, final hole. Trying to take a little bit off the corner, but trying not to bite off more than you can chew. And that is in excellent shape. Inbee's tee shots have not been her strong suit today. Back to that shortly. Back to 17 now.
Can Sayri do something over these last couple of holes? It's not been a good day for her.
We don't see a lot right at the pin at 17. That is an outstanding shot from Sayri.
And what Area Jutanagan would do with that. Killed for that shot. Now, Beatrice Ricari. Been a while since I've actually had a chance to watch Beatrice, and gee, she's sort of really come of age. Solid as.
And we said she laced that drive last to play there. Will that take the contour, or will it just sit there? It's trying to work down, but it was just a little bit too far right.
It is the side where everybody aims, of course, that left-hand side between the ridge and the pin, because the other side, chances are you may miss the green right. To the 18th hole. 2 sensational days for Stacey Lewis, followed by 2 very frustrating days. She had it on a string for a long time through this tournament, but all of a sudden the putts start not to drop.
Nayeon Choi at the final hole. Left her run a bit late this week, the world number 2. What a player she is, though. And gives herself the chance of the closing birdie to get it up into a tie for 5th with So-Yeon Yu and Stacey Lewis. Now, an important tee shot for Inbee.
Just get it on the fairway, just not to get it caught up in the long rough at this point.
Yeah, Brad likes it. Beauty, mate. Down the right-hand side, though, but that's fine.
So-Yeon, third shot. 3 under on today's round. She's that tie for 5th. There's a good shot. Now come back down. If it works its way further down there, the better.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the park.
Well, a critical shot coming up now for our leader. Needs to get this stone dead. Close, but not stone dead.
It's not stone dead. It was a very good shot. It's very hard to judge the run of the ball up that bank.
She really pulls the trigger quickly, doesn't she? When she decides on the shot that she's going to hit, she just gets up and hits it.
Yeah, there's no mucking about with it. You notice that with a lot of young players. Lydia Ko does the same immediately. Shen Shang, third shot into 18. Come on, get it up there. Yep, has done.
So then, the moment of truth is just about to arrive for Ariya Jutanugarn. She's got a par putt at 17 to give her a two-stroke lead coming up the last. Inbee Park has done the first part of the equation at the last. She's put a drive on the short stuff. Nothing that Yanni can do about it now. Beatrice is too far back to win. It's a match in two, and the odds are in favour of the 17-year-old as the finish approaches in Pattaya. Back with the putting action at 17. Sairi Pak first to putt of these players. Beatrice Rakari having already missed her birdie putt and putted in for par, so she needs a birdie at the last to finish third. Sairi just needs something for a bit of consolation at the end of a tough day.
Yeah, well, there's just been the one birdie for Sairi today, and that was on the 7th. Double bogey on 10 and 4 other bogeys, so another birdie, well, it'll make her feel better. It's not going to be big swinging putt there.
She is the only player in the top 24 on the leaderboard who is over par for the day, and she is 5 over par. It must feel like she's had 100.
Yes, I think that both she and Mark feel like she's had 100 today, her caddy. The look on both their faces. Now, Nayeon, can it be a big finish for Nayeon?
Equals 6th. 68 to close. She just left herself too much work to do when she shot 73 on the first day, 71 on the second day, but the world number 2 fights back with 67-68 on the weekend. Now, this hugely important putt.
You've got to hand it to this young girl. These are incredibly pressure putts downhill. They're slick. Oh, that puts a big smile on her face. That'll be a relief, but I tell you, she is up to the task big time.
Birdie putt for Shan Shan Feng to close. Yes, had a good look around, but eventually disappeared. And so Shan Shan makes her putt at the last and comes up with a round of 69. Birdie at the last, she finishes tied 8th. Now, where's that going?
Okay, Inbee's, I think, run that around a lot of things. That was a very low ball flight. I think she's missed the lot and ended up at the front of the green. Daunting chip, but everybody's got the same issue around this 18th hole. You end up in lots of weird and wonderful places.
Well, she has to make birdie here. Can't rely on a disaster
absolutely.
for Ariya, because she's going to stand on the 72nd hole with inside of victory. Well, yesterday, remember, she bombed her drive a little bit too far left. She's got to find the short stuff today.
Let's take a look at this one for the last time. Bomb it over that bunker on the left-hand side. Get it down there as far as you can. Stay out of the rough on the left. Then there are the decisions. Yeah, you can leave it short, but most of the players today will probably be having a go at this. Pin is way back in that back plateau, and it's hard to get there. And when you get there, it's hard to stay on it. And whichever angle that you have that putt, if you've got a downhill putt there, you could end up back where we just saw Jarina Pillar run all the way back off again and down the side. It is very treacherous, so the right side of the green would be the better option. If you can bring it in that side, you've got to stay away from the left. But the first part is to get it on the fairway, and you certainly can cut off quite an angle. But we do see players get caught up in that bank on the rough on the left-hand side. That's the no-no.
She did it yesterday. She can't do it today. If Inbee doesn't make her birdie at the last, then Ariya has 6 to play with. She can make a 6 and still win. But if Inbee makes a birdie, then things become a little bit different. Beatrice first to play. Tee shot at the 72nd hole.
That looks good. Pretty wide driving area here. Just bounding down that left edge.
Perfect, really. Well, what an incredible day it has been for Area Jutanagan. She started the day 3 shots in front. And things were looking very good early on. She was able to make a birdie early. Then she came up with that incredible moment. The hole-in-one at the 12th. She didn't even realise it had gone in. Just when it seemed as though the pressure was about to get to her, the pressure valve was released. Here is her drive at the last, and you know what they think of it. That is perfect.
It's exactly what she needed. Just get it on the fairway on 18. We've seen her in the rough on a number of occasions today. She's got out of it fairly well, but just don't play with it. It's a big driving area down 18.
She's got to have in the back of her mind, all I need to do is make par. That's all. No time for heroics, but she doesn't think that way a lot of the time.
She's got 2 shots up her sleeve. Go for it.
Sayri to end a long day. If only they'd all been like that today.
Yes, they have not been, and you can tell that on Sayri's face. It's been a long one, and she'd like to see the end of it. But, well, Area Jutanagan walking along there now, and wow, it's the last hole. This must seem like an eternity ago she teed off on the first. A lot's happened since then.
Third shot for Lizette Salas at the final hole. The crowd waiting for the support act to finish. A lot of people have been up there, so Lizette is going to have that little right to left curler that we've become very used to for a closing birdie. If she makes it, she'll get up into a tie for 6th with Nayeon Choi and Stacey Lewis. Stacey Lewis might even be able to break herself out of that tie.
Well, this is an important little pitch for Inbee. She has to knock this dead. She needs the birdie. If she could knock it in, it'd even be better for her cause, but a birdie is a must.
Well, it hit the downslope. It hit the downslope of that middle part of the green, and it just propelled it forward.
Now, the interesting thing now is that is not an easy up and down from where Inbee is, so the possibility is that she may not even make the 5 from there, because that is just deadly. We were there dropping balls this morning and could hardly get any of them to stay on that top level of the green. That was a big, big mistake from Inbee, and she has really just opened the door now.
It could turn out to be very costly, and once again, Area Jutanagan is in the box seat. She doesn't know quite yet what has gone on ahead of her. She knows that probably if she makes a par at the last, it's going to be good enough, but the chances are she may have even more than that to play with. Area Jutanagan, 17 years of age, getting closer to victory on home soil. Her second shot to the final hole coming up. Stacey Lewis from in this depression in the middle of the 18th. Getting it up the hill and maybe in for eagle. Should be enough for a birdie. And that will take Stacey into a 4-way tie for 3rd with Yani Singh, So-Yeon Yu and Beatrice Ricari. And the Spaniard is the only one out on the course who'll be able to do anything about that. If she makes a birdie at the last, she can break out of that tie.
Well, it's certainly been a tournament of 2 halves for Stacey Lewis. Could not put a foot wrong the first 2 days, and nothing's gone right the second 2. Now, this is a big putt from off the green. It is lightning. She's also got to give it just enough to get it onto the green, but once it hits that, it's like a tabletop.
Look how delicate she had to be.
Now look at this.
That is as good as she could have possibly done. She had to flirt with the possibility of leaving that ball 3 feet from her feet.
That was amazing, and that was a great indication of the difficulty there, because at one moment I thought it was going to stop, and it just had enough to trickle, and that's why so many from the back there end up back down in that gully left of the centre gully on the green.
Perhaps the winner in waiting. Area Jutanagan stands in the fairway waiting for the green to clear. Inbee Park, having played her delicate little putt from the back, now has a putt for par, and if she makes that, it means that Area can make 6 and still win. And you couldn't see her making, we couldn't see her making 6 from where she is, but stranger things have happened.
Lizette Salas for birdie is to go into a tie for 6th. It's not going to be, so she will remain with Shan Shanfang in that tie in 8th place. Good result, good tournament from her. Nice start to the 2013 season. It's also nice to, one of your first tournaments, to put that top 10 in there in the stats.
Yeah.
So early.
Eases the pressure a bit for the year. Keeps the back manager happy. It's always a good thing to do.
Very much so. Well, Inbee, this is her par putt.
So this would be for a round of 67. At one stage she had the lead, looked as though the tide had really turned. So her job is done now. It is a 67 for Inbee Park. She's got it to -12, and all she can do is watch and wait as Area comes up the last. About 3 feet, maybe a little bit more for Stacey Lewis to get up into a 4-way tie for 3rd. 63 course record first day, played so brilliantly at her first outing in 2013. Really solid on the second day, but you wouldn't expect to back up with another 63, but then it all went to pieces yesterday. Well, she shot a 76. .70 for Stacey. And so it is a tie for 3rd. After she did play in the Australian Open last week. A good finish here in Thailand, but she's got to be thinking there's a few being left out there.
The moment everybody has been waiting for, these spectators, 99% of them are here to see one person win this event.
She was indecisive with her club selection with her second shot yesterday.
Now, she's hit that thin, but if it gets away, oh, it's caught that big bunker at the front. It's a long bunker shot.
Well, all of a sudden, 6 is back on the cards again, and then we get into sweaty palms territory. The crowd was just waiting to let out a roar when the ball touched the green and ran up. It didn't happen yet. They are packed around this 18th.
Well, Beatrice Riccari would love a 4 on this 18th hole. It would break her out of a tie with Yani Seng, So Yeon Yu, Stacey Lewis, and put her up there in 3rd place on her own. Make a big difference. Nice looking swing, as she's done all week. Just turned it over a little bit. She had the length, but now that's going to be interesting from that bunker. She's in the wider of the two bunkers.
Katrina Matthew made an impossible save from there the other day. Beatrice needing to get up and down to get third, but the real battle is elsewhere. Sayri with the closing stages of her final round, and even if she makes a birdie at the last, that's a 76. Ball above her feet. She's hit the low skimmer as well.
Well, that I think is nearly run through and
in the
around
bunker and out.
everything. I was out there watching Sayri. It has been one of those days she would just like to have this over and done with. Hard day at the office.
So the welcome might have to wait for a minute, because the area is still going to find herself coming out of the trap, and that trap is a little way shy of the green as well. We've kept on using the cautionary note. It's not over yet, and we can say that again. But the home gallery is getting ready to welcome a new hero in Thailand.
Yes, she'd be enjoying that walk a lot more if she had that ball just sitting up somewhere around the green for two shots. There's quite a deep bunker there, and it's 15 yards short of the front of the green. Pins back another 32. And all sorts of weird and wonderful hollows and gullies and undulations she's got to negotiate between that bunker shot and that back pin placement.
And that's the difficulty when you're coming out of the trap. No guarantee that you can actually find the right level.
Players and caddies in this final group. Leading the way, please
listen to the
welcome a
welcome.
one-time LPGA Tour winner from Spain, Beatrice Ricari. In the red shirt is, of course, our current leader at 14 under par with a hole-in-one today. She is just 17 years old from Thailand, Arya Jutanukan.
And the crowd unaware of the drama that is going on in the lip of this bunker.
And finally, please welcome a Hall of Famer with 25 LPGA Tour titles. She is the first woman from South Korea to accomplish this feat. Please welcome Sari Pak.
So whilst all the welcoming is going on, drama unfolding here. Brad Alexander, LPGA rules official, is out there.
Wow, who would have thought that? Look at that.
Now, is the question whether that ball is plugged in the face of the bunker?
I'm going to be interested to see what that is going to be. Now, by the look of it, I think her option's going to have to be she's got to try and play it, or is it going to be an unplayable? That is...
Well, she's had one amazing stroke of good fortune today and skill with the hole-in-one at 12. And we often say the golfing gods giveth and the golfing gods taketh away.
Well, they've certainly taken away up the 18th.
So she looks as though she's asking about dropping it.
Now, I can't even imagine she would possibly try and play that. Okay. So she's going to take an unplayable. She has to keep that point in line with the pin, and she can go back as far as she wants.
So we are presuming that this is a penalty drop.
Yes, it will. Well, it looks like it's an unplayable she's got to take. Certainly doesn't look like there's any other reason for it. It's just got itself stuck in the bunker, face of a bunker. So she will go in now. So remember, after she drops this, she's going to be playing her 4th shot. She still has 3 shots to win.
From now. Yeah, before she plays this shot.
Now, stroke of luck. She's been able to land it on the slope there, which is very lucky because it's caused the ball just to run down. So she's got a reasonable lie. It hasn't. Sometimes when you drop them in a bunker, they just drop and you get the old fried egg where they plug.
Her sister, Moria, looking on. She's headed for the LPGA Tour this year. She was out there to see Area make that hole in 1 at 12. But this is the main game right here.
Well, I have seen some pretty spectacular shots from this young lady. And right now she's got the dreaded long bunker shot to a treacherous green and a back pin. There's nothing easy about any of this.
Still the hardest shot in golf, the long bunker shot. And she's about to find out how difficult it is. Just add the pressure of the situation and the eyes of the nation watching on, and then you realise how tough this is.
Now stop.
Well, it stayed up there, but we've already seen from Jarina Piller before how difficult it is to stop the ball from all the way back there.
Oh, she knows now. She knows this is... She's now got to come up with a spectacular chip of the most delicate kind down this hill.
And the other thing she's got to do is compose herself, because she's getting upset at what has happened, and you can understand that, but the job is still to be done, and the job is still hers for the taking.
I think there she was trying to make sure that she got it, you know, back and didn't land it short, stay in that front ridge or down that centre gully, but just, you know, easy enough to keep it a little thin. Now, Sayri, still got to remember we have 2 other players out here at the moment. It's very easy.
They're bit part players, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Even for Beatrice, who's going for 3rd place. So just to bring you up to date with the equation, Area needs to get up and down from where she is to win. Otherwise, we have a playoff, quite possibly, or maybe even Inbee might still get the victory. That is a brilliant shot from Sayri. There is so little ground between the flag and where her golf ball is. There's a ridge about there, and it is so hard to land it in that patch. She's done a wonderful job to hopefully end what will have turned out to be a trying day in good fashion.
Now, an important shot for Beatrice Ricari. If she can get this up and down, she breaks a very large tie with 4 of them, all at -10 in 3rd place, and this will put her into 3rd place on her own.
These are big dollar shots at the end of the day. Giving herself a chance. That putt for 3rd.
Well, we saw what Inbee had to do from the back here earlier, almost stop it. Well, she was way further around, but you know, it's still going to be just as quick.
And we also saw Jarina Piller in a very similar situation to this. Put it way out to the right, and then the pace just accelerated the ball and it went all the way off the green. That is a danger, a big danger.
And you can see that slope at the back of the green. As soon as they get onto the green from the edge, it just slopes straight down and takes it away. It's not a big area, but it's downhill all the way.
So she simply must stay on this same level. with the end of this shot, even if it's just above the hole. She cannot afford to go 2.5 paces. That's all it is. 2.5 paces beyond the hole, and she could easily find herself off the green. And now she's got to hold that to win. We said that she plays quickly. Quick is something you could use to describe the heartbeat of that young lady, 1 year older than her sister.
Well, they're quite... She had the right idea with this shot. She just hit it fractionally too soft. And didn't... Now, if that had rolled another couple of inches slowly, it would have hit... It was gone.
Would have been, yeah.
Yeah.
It is such a difficult assignment from back here, but the thing is now that she's faced with the same predicament again, but to a lesser degree. Now, does she try and hold this, or does she play safety first and get it to a playoff? It's not going to go in the hole. So now she needs that for the playoff. Inbee Park better be warming up.
And you just got to wonder what is going through her head and how nearly scrambled her brains are right now.
Yeah. And she can't afford to be having too many thoughts going through her head, because there's still one thing to be done, and it's not easy. It's if there are any straightforward putts, she's got it. She's underneath the hole.
Oh, just take a deep breath. She's got to get herself together. It has just been all a disaster. She would never have dreamed she would have plugged that ball in the face of that bunker.
If you're her caddy and she stands over a second shot, do you say, just take a 5-iron, 4-iron, something like that, get it up there into position and then play a little pitch in? Or do you say, go for it in 2? I know what I'd be saying.
I know what you'd be saying.
With a 6
I know what I'd
being good enough. We talked about what happened there yesterday with the approach in. It's easy from up here, though.
It is easy from up here, and when you're standing down there and the adrenaline's pumping and you're playing well and you've played a lot of good shots and you're in the middle of the fairway, there's a lot of room on that right-hand side.
Beatrice Riccari with a putt for 3rd place. Underneath the hole. And so it is going to be a 4-way tie between Yani Seng, So Yeon Yu, Stacey Lewis and Beatrice Riccari for 3rd at 10 under the card. 70 to close for Beatrice. I want to get down to Kate Burton, who's right beside the 18th green. And Katie, the atmosphere was one of great expectation a few moments ago. It must almost be surreal down there now.
Well, there must be near on 4,000 or 5,000 people here with their hearts in their mouth, including me. You cannot believe the drama that is unfolding. Everybody wants her to do well. She deserves it, Ariya Jutanugarn. And now she faces another very tricky putt just to make the playoff. Just mistakes all the way down the 18th. Should never have been in that fairway trap for her second shot. She only needed a par.
Yep. That's to come. Have a listen to this. Kate said, talked about the thousands of people around this green at the moment. And if one of them dropped a pin, you'd be able to hear it.
Yes, they must be in absolute sort of stunned disbelief. She will sit back and play this 18th hole over and over and over again in her head and think, what I should have done.
Well, she might have to play it again in a few minutes yet. A tough day at the office for one of the greats the game has ever seen. 76 for Sae Ri Pak. And the way is clear. The equation is simple. To keep alive the dream of winning in front of her home crowd, this has to go in. Just when a nation was preparing to celebrate, it finishes in the most bitter way possible. But for Inbee Park, it is a victory with a final round charge that takes her to the win. Amazingly, Area Jutanagan goes from the high of one of the great shots of her career to a hole that she will never forget for all the wrong reasons. Inbee Park wins the Honda LPGA in the most dramatic of circumstances. No wonder there's tears there. What an extraordinary finish.
Well, I hardly know what to say. You just feel for her. Just, it has been an outstanding performance, and well, it all went pear-shaped. Let's take a look at this.
Well, you simply, from that distance, and it's easy in hindsight, but you can't give the hole away. It has to be centre of the cup, and she pays a very heavy price. Gracious to the end, but she would be sitting in the scorer's hut now, just absolutely gutted. And all of her fellow Thais who are watching this on television around the country, and her sister, are sharing that emotion with her. Every picture tells a story. Inbee wins. Congratulations to her. Great final round of 67. She put herself in the position to get it done. She's been able to get it done, but it leaves that funny feeling, that victory, that sort of victory.
Yeah, well, it does, because Inbee's had the win, but just you know what's evolved and what's taken place, and there it is in black and white. Inbee Park wins by one shot over 17-year-old Area Jutanagan.
And a four-way tie for third. Chinese Taipei, Korea, the United States and Spain, with Yani Sen, Soyeon Yu, Stacey Lewis and Beatrice Ricari. Na-yeon Choi finishes in seventh. Inbee Park somehow has come away with the win. She'll get the cheque and the trophy shortly in Thailand.
I can't tell you, your heart just goes out to that young girl who is just, she's so talented, she's so gracious. She has put on an extraordinary performance. The expectations of a nation on her shoulders. It would have been the first win from a Thai player. And the pressure, and she's going to walk away now after taking 8 up the last hole. And look, she's just going to have head spin. It's going to take her a little while to come to terms with what's actually happened.
No question about that. And there is also no question about the fact that she should never have been playing her, as it turns out, her fourth shot from in that fairway trap. There's so much room when you've got 6 to win that you can play that hole in such a way that 6 would be the worst score that you would shoot.
The only places you can't go, you don't want to go left and you don't want to go in that fairway trap. They're the places you have to stay away from, especially with that back pin. And well, she is going to have nightmares over this 18th hole again and again. But on the other end of the scale, great job, Inbee Park. Put herself in contention, and that is golf.
We're only in the second event of the year, but we have witnessed something that is going to be hard to top drama-wise. Inbee Park has come away with the win in Thailand. This was the story of her day. A birdie at the first after she started at -7, 4 shots back from the lead. She would have retained those hopes of victory, and they perhaps would have grown a bit after she made a second birdie at the 5th. All of a sudden, she was starting her climb up the leaderboard. And Sandy, the climb continued. It was a brilliant outward 9.
Oh, absolutely spectacular from Inbee, just solid as a rock. We know what she's like. She's a great putter, very, very steady player, great iron shots, and seems to be just so in control. And so we thought going through these front 9 when she was starting to make quite a few birdies that it was going to be the big charge. And this one at the 9th hole, this is the most difficult birdie hole. Severe green, and that is a huge bonus to have picked up one there, and that was to take her out in 32.
And there was more to come. This and the 10th for a birdie. That was the eagle putt. The birdie putt came. And it was at this stage that she was starting to look increasingly confident, and the body language signs coming from her main rival were the fact that she was getting a little anxious, a little worried about the pressure. This birdie putt at 11. At this stage, Inbee was in control. She took the lead. She relinquished it only when Area was able to make a 1. This at 17, that looked like her last chance. That was for a birdie at 17. She had to be content with a par, and she also had to be content with a par at the last. Her 4th shot was extraordinary. She had to dare to mess the shot up completely, to leave it 3 feet in front of her feet to get the ball down to there. A par didn't seem as though it was going to be enough. As it turns out, it was. A 5 under par round of 67, and the Korean wins the Honda LPGA of 2013. What a day for Inbee Park. She had a great year last year, won more money than anyone last year, and it comes this victory with more than $200,000 in the most unlikely of circumstances. For the presentation, Kate Burton is down with our winner, Inbee Park, and also the representatives from the sponsors. So let's head down now to Kate Burton.
Well, once again, we have been rewarded with tremendous drama here at the Honda LPGA Thailand, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce our distinguished guests. To my immediate left is Palakorn Somsuwan, the Managing Director of BBTV Channel 7, and to his left is Hiroshi Kobayashi, the President and Chief Executive Asian Honda Motor Company Limited and the President of Honda Automobile Thailand. Well, what sporting drama we have witnessed this afternoon, and the game of golf can sometimes be very cruel, but we have a very deserving winner in 2013, Inbee Park. Now, Inbee, I have to admit, I wasn't expecting to be standing next to you here, but congratulations.
Thank you very much. I mean, I didn't expect this this result either. I mean, I had a great round today, but I thought it wasn't enough. But it just happened. I don't know what to say. I'm still very shocked.
I think everybody here, the feeling is palpable. It was a round of 67. You played extremely well with a good number of birdies around the turn. And once again, your putter was magical.
Yeah, I played very, very good on the front 9, and I had some chances on the back 9, but I missed a couple of putts on the number, 17, and I thought that putt would, make me for second place, but. Nobody expected this outcome, and just, it happens, it's golf, it happens, whatever it happens, we just gotta take it.
Were you watching the events unfold on 18?
Yes, I was watching inside.
Yeah, and I mean, could you believe what was happening? Did you think I might have to go to the driving range as an outside chance of a playoff?
Well, after she hit her 4th shot, I thought there might be a chance of a playoff. So, I was ready, but, it just became even better.
You're a champion, and this is your 4th LPGA victory. I'm sure you must have some words of encouragement, though, for Arya Jutanagan.
Yeah, I mean, she played incredible golf last 4 days, and I know, this is going to be a very good experience for her, and I think I'm going to see her, near future, and it's in Thailand, and she's, Thai girl. I feel, really bad for her for the last hole, but I think it'll be a good medicine for her. I'm pretty sure.
Well, she has treated us to some magnificent golf, but so have you over these 4 days, and you must be so encouraged by your start in the 2013 season.
Yes, this is totally unexpected, and especially winning this week, it just gives me a lot of confidence, and it just feels like it's the continuous golf of last year. So I feel very good.
Well, congratulations. And now it does give me great pleasure indeed to invite our distinguished guest to present the trophy to our 2013 champion, Kun Palakorn and Hiroshi Kobayashi-san. Would you please raise the beautiful Honda LPGA Thailand trophy? If you could both present this to Inbee Park. Congratulations to Inbee Park, our 2013 champion.
A young lady still in a state of shock like the rest of us, but she gets the trophy and she gets the $225,000 that goes along with it after that incredibly productive year in dollar terms that she had last year. She takes a giant stride now right up towards the top of the money list. In fact, goes to the top of the money list after the previous event in Australia last week. And she is still coming to terms with the victory, as we all are.
Yeah, it's got to be bizarre for Inbee standing back thinking, well, I've lost my chance, and then thinking, well, maybe I'm a chance for a playoff. And all of a sudden you're standing there and there's no playoff. You've won the event, and it's got to be really bizarre. But, hey, Inbee Park's a great champion.
She is the winner, and she is the winner by one. Inbee Park tastes victory in Thailand. We'll be back to wrap it up in a moment at the Siam Country Club. That is very understandable. Won't be the last tears that are shed tonight.
Now, it is going to be a difficult thing for her to come to terms with what's happened and to accept, but unfortunately, that's the ups and downs of professional sport. You can only feel for her. She had it in her hand. They were nearly doing the engraving, and all of a sudden it all went pear-shaped.
Big sis, who's actually little sis in stature but big in age. Always makes it a bit easier when you've got someone there to console you and try and say, it's all okay, what's done is done. You'll get your chance. What an opportunity it was in front of her home nation.
I think that was the really crucial part. I mean, for this event and for this young lady, being Thai, it's in Thailand. No Thai player has ever won before. It would have just been massive. And she is now just realizing, or trying to come to terms with what has happened in just one hole.
The enormity of what has just happened has just hit Arya Jutanagan, who's been in tears beside the 18th, consoled by her sister. It must seem a long time ago that this happened. What a contrast from the scenes that we've just seen to what we saw when she played this tee shot at the par 312. Have a look and a listen to this. What a contrast, those scenes of joy to what we witnessed today. But we do come up, Sandra, with a worthy champion, this lady, Inbee Park. To her surprise and the surprise of everyone, she wins by a shot from area Jutanagan. It's been a dramatic day.
Oh, it certainly has, and it's absolutely fantastic for Inbee. She's a wonderful player, and she, you know, put the foot down today.
So Inbee Park wins by 1 in Thailand from area Jutanagan. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage. On behalf of our executive producer Michael O'Dwyer and senior director Wayne Suter, Peter Donegan saying farewell from Thailand, and we'll see you in Singapore.